last we left off the story, you guys had successfully scared off this group of devilish characters after they'd pushed this big black stone off of their wagon, and they disappeared in a burst of flames. The darkness spell has been rescinded on Josa, and Dave did a marvelous job of ripping everyone to shreds. What would you guys like to do now? Oh, you also heard the town bell ringing back towards the direction of the city, and you heard murmuring, and you're not sure what they're ringing the bell about or reacting to. You assume it's the random devilish characters you just foiled, but the delayed reaction of the bell makes you think that maybe it's something else.
Guys?
So, can we just get a reminder on how much that thing weighs?
You would guess, based on someone's previous intelligence check, about 500 pounds.
Okay.
Interesting.
How did your strategizing session go, by the way? Did anyone come up with any innovative schemes?
So we had one idea, one potential idea, which is to try and stuff it into a bag of holding.
Ooh,
take it with us.
Okay.
But as a bag of holding apparently holds up to 500 pounds.
The weight should be not a problem, but the opening of your bag might be an issue.
Okay.
You could always attempt. I mean, depending on how good the roll is. What were you gonna say, Fraser?
So I was going to suggest I was going to cast Mage Hand to take the bag of holding from Joser and try and fit it over the rock.
Mage Hand could theoretically steal the bag in a very surreptitious manner. Is that what you're attempting to achieve?
Oh no, with his consent.
Okay.
Yeah, so we don't have to get close to it because it's
Because there's a
evil.
curse around it.
Okay.
Yeah.
How should you guys go about this?
Well, we've done some failed checks on it, haven't we? About religion and detect evil and all that sort of stuff. I think we've just worked out that it's is it noxious or narcotic or something in the area around it, and it's clearly giving off some evil.
Yeah, someone made a check that determined that in like a sort of 5 or 10 foot radius around it is considered desecrated. Oh yeah, that was Abe. Abe did the detect good and evil.
Okay.
So hence the plan to use. I will use my Mage Hand to subvert the evil zone.
And how wide is the stone?
You gather it's about 3 feet by 3 feet, roughly. So that's a 3 foot diameter, I would say.
Yeah, bag of holding is a 2 foot diameter mouth.
Good research. So yeah, you'd be hard pressed getting it in there, but also you haven't really gathered any definitive evidence that you need to take this with you. I mean, I love your commitment to doing so, but you've other than it desecrating the area around it, you may not like. Okay, everybody make an Arcana check.
Okay. Damn.
Okay, so we've got a 14, a 10, and a 17, and then a 5. Okay, so Josa, you would have a pretty confident idea, based on your background, you would only really have heard this through tavern tales, let's say, that this kind of an object is, what's the word? A lot of magic has been put into it, and it's very difficult to alter it in terms of its properties or move it physically unless you know more about the background of which it was its creation. Like without more information, it's tough to know what to do with it. It's a very like weighty object.
All right. So Joseph says, this thing could be really dangerous. I don't think we should touch it. I don't think we can get it in the bag of holding. It's too big. So I think we know someone who might know more about this. The shopkeeper who we managed to completely fuck off in the earlier on in the day.
Let's go.
We can always intimidate him.
Let's go back in his good graces. No, let's just be kind to him and forgive him.
We could return and coerce that weak man.
Maybe we could go find a mason and convince him to patch up the wall for him, and then he'll be happy with us.
Okay. The question is, do we all go or someone stay here and watch over the stone?
I think given that there were bells ringing and probably the city's under attack or something similar, it would be a good idea to all go. I don't think anyone can actually move the stone.
Okay.
Yes, it would be good to see those old crones suffer.
We can leave it unsupervised. I mean, I need more holy water. I can come out and sprinkle it later.
Or I can just stay if not. It's fine. Don't mind.
Let's all stick together. Head back as a group.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Okay.
Easy to tell.
So as you head back to town, let me see if I can shift you back to the town map. This one. I mean, this is obviously a very far away view of the town. But you guys are vaguely... You can see the map, right?
Yep.
Okay. You guys come back to town via sort of this passageway here, and you return to that high street. And what greets you is this clutch of people in the middle of the high street, all kinds of like peasants and villagers and merchants and artisans. And they're all sort of together having some sort of impromptu town meeting. And you get the sense that they are concerned about something. You can't really hear what they're talking about at this distance, but there's a big hubbub. What do you do?
Who's best with people? Someone go and speak to them, and the rest of us can go and
That would be
speak to
more.
Magic Man.
I will intimidate these petty townsfolk.
Okay. Should we, rather than all go up and scare... Well, actually, but Zenoi, you're a tiefling. They might not speak to you because you're so weird.
Yeah, you're pretty good. Yeah,
Okay.
Abelardo's pretty good. Yeah.
Okay, pretty good at what, sorry?
We'll speak to Abelardo.
To speak to the people.
Who should we speak to?
Okay. So maybe the rest of us hang back and send Abelardo in so that we don't scare them too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you head over closer, Abe?
Yeah, please.
Okay. As you get closer, you hear them overhear. You overhear them saying, "Another one has been taken. That makes what? 10? No, 8. I don't know what we're gonna do. There'll be no one left to work the fields. Okay, I think we're gonna have to suck it up and send someone into the thicket. I can't think of any way to get around this." And then they sort of turn to regard you and say, "You, Dragonborn? Haven't seen one of you around here in a long time. What can we help you with?"
I was just wondering what happened and why the bells are ringing and what are those 10 people that are missing?
Well, we've had the men of this outer ring be kidnapped over the last few weeks. We suspect it's by goblins or orcs based on the glimpses we've had of them, but they've been disappearing in 1s and 2s regularly over the last few weeks, and we've asked the inner ring, like the aristocracy, and they seem very, sarcastic about that, to do something about it, but they seem content to just be investigating. I mean, why would they care? They're behind a moat, they're behind walls, and then they all start to chatter to each other. Yeah, they're behind moats. Oh, filthy animals. And they start to descend into a ruckus, but you sort of got the gist of it.
Cool. Okay, so I'm coming back to
Cool.
Boyd and conveying this disappearance and the class problem in the town.
Huge class problems are really bad anywhere.
Yes.
Classic class problem.
Maybe if we help them, they can overcome what's dividing them.
Or they could help us know what that big stone is.
That's true. Well, we definitely need to try and find the shopkeeper in all this ruckus, but that's later. I mean, I think we should help them, but I don't know. What do you guys
The
reckon?
plight of the slave is not an honourable one.
Joseph, obviously, well, so have you come back and told us this?
Yes,
Okay.
I was coming back.
Joseph, I'm not sure if you guys remember. I'll tell you in characters. I fucking hate goblins and orcs. If there's a chance to murder some, then I'm up for it.
I mean, I don't really like them either. I mean, I know that I don't want to kill anyone, but if I'm going to kill anything, I'd kill a little goblin. That's not really
Stinky goblin.
not really a person.
I've never seen one before.
Oh,
I do not understand the difference between Monty and these goblins.
Well,
goblins
sir,
are vile creatures.
a goblin would never patch you up when you need it, sir. A goblin would never stay by your side by a warm hearth, knitting and sewing your knee wounds. I will.
I know.
I like it that
Knitting
your wounds
understand
are
the
limited
difference
to just
between
your
Monty
knees.
and these goblins.
If you'll let me, I will.
Okay.
You see a group of 2 or 3 of the most elderly, senior, I'll say, looking villagers sort of come up to you tentatively and say, excuse me, Mr. Dragonborn, sir. You look to be someone that is a lot stronger and more well-versed in the ways of the world than us. Would you be able to look into this and try to help us find our lost men? Would you be able to look into that? We'll help you in any way we can. We don't have much money, but we can help you in any way that you would ask of us.
Okay, so what do you guys think? Do we give them a hand?
I want to help.
And you want to kill, right? Joseph?
Yes. Any job that requires the killing or maiming of orcs and goblins is the one I want to be part of.
I like the idea of recompense.
Sweet vengeance.
Like in return.
We can offer to look into it amongst our other quests, and maybe we will find the answers on
I
our
think
way.
help them out of the kindness of our hearts, really.
That's true, but they could help us in some other way as well.
Sure thing, but they can decide that later.
They've sort of they've been talking amongst themselves quietly, and then they come over to you and say, we can offer you 53 gold. Is that, I don't know what the adventuring rate is, but we'd be happy to pay you that when you return.
That's a very
I bellow 53.
Even just word of our lost brothers and fathers would be hugely valuable to us.
Yeah, well, given that we have only 8 gold, I think, or 10 gold at the most, that might be helpful. Because I'm the only one that actually has gold.
53 sounds good to me. I'll take it.
That's fine.
I have absolutely nothing to my name right now, so yes.
And that way we can get some killing done and get some gold out of it.
So you'll do it? They start going over to you and shaking your hands with double-handed grips and saying, "That's wonderful. If you need anything at all, we all live kind of down that direction. This is more of the merchants area, but we're all down there in various homesteads and farms. You'll see us if you need anything at all."
Okay.
Touch me not, disgusting humans.
Don't worry about him.
Terribly sorry. Yes, I know. I haven't washed my hands after tending the fields. I'm so sorry, Mr. Horned man, sir.
Okay, fair enough.
As you've come back to the city through a different pathway than the path you entered in originally, you notice a different section of the main street. And you see in the middle distance is the Rowdy Muse and the Secret Scroll. And you also notice from this angle, the sign is slightly more in your face, as it were, is the Broken Gauntlet, which is the other tavern that you saw when you first entered, but it's just more obvious. Then you see a bunch of farms and homesteads. And then you see the sort of big gates over the moat to enter the inner circle. And over the top of that, you see various towers and crenellations, and you gather that that's probably the inner city.
Okay.
Wasn't the gauntlet where our grave robbing fellow was going to be after he sold his stuff? I wonder. I wonder. He's been out and about in the peripheries, scrabbling around. I wonder if he's seen
And
anything.
stealing things. What if he steals that thing too?
Exactly. Maybe he's either seen some stuff or he might be involved.
Let's go check it out.
I'm sure we can stand him a pint with your money.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the plan?
I thought we were ejected from there.
No, we're rejecting the other one.
The mouse and
The
Don't
Rowdy
worry,
Muse you were ejected from.
We'll get kicked out of there very quickly, don't worry. Yeah.
Okay, so you want to go over to the other tavern.
yes,
Yeah.
we
Okay. You go over to the other tavern. It's got a big sign, very well painted sign. All the signs here seem much more in good repair than the actual buildings themselves. At least they appreciate the value of good advertising. Okay, so you head over to it. It's got a single door. Do you go inside?
Yes, please.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what you're greeted with when you go inside is this. Wait for it. Okay, you find yourself in a 5 foot by 5 foot room that has no discernible further doors or windows. It's quite dark in there. I imagine you've probably left the door open slightly because you can't see anything. Yeah, that's what you find.
Okay. So should we look around to see if we find that guy that we're looking for?
Yeah. Should we roll a perception check? See what I see. See if I can
Go
see
for it.
anything.
Perception
spot
it
this
up.
bloke.
You can also tell me what your passive perception is, just to factor into the equation. It'll be on the bottom left usually of your character sheet on. D&D
Passive perception 14.
Okay, now give me a perception check.
All of us.
Oh, okay. With a 16, you notice on this north wall, you notice some scratchings that look kind of haphazard at first, but when you look more closely, they look like they have an order to them. But it's a language you don't speak, I don't think. What class are you again?
Ranger.
Ranger. I'll say make an investigation check to, like, now that you've seen it, the investigation check is to determine more details about it.
Not very good at this. Yeah.
Okay. With a 9, all right, you're not really sure what it says, but with a perception check of 16, I'll say, yeah, I want to give it to you, I just can't. All right, so now that you pointed out to the rest of your group, if anyone has, I'll say, is anyone proficient in something that might help here, like...
Common, Draconic, and Elvish.
Oh yeah, give me all your languages.
I have 4 languages.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Draconic, Infernal, Primordial.
Okay, I don't think any of you guys speak it. What about you, Furbolg man?
Celestial, Elvish, Giant, Common.
Okay.
I've got Goblin and Orc as well.
Okay, Goblin, Orc. I'll say, I'm trying to gather, Monty wouldn't know much about this. The Ranger probably, I'd say, I'll say, Zenarai, give me a investigation check. Oh yeah, okay. You recognize this as Thieves' Cant.
Oh, I think
Thieves'
somewhere in another universe I'd be able to read this.
Yeah. It's Thieves' Cant is a secret language amongst thieves and the more disreputable members of society. You probably can't.
I recognise this as the language of those terrible pickpockets.
But
An infernal blaze.
But you also notice with an 18
But I can't read it.
The wall in front of you over here is there's a little square of it that's a slightly different shade of stone to the rest of the stone, and that's what you notice in addition to like recognizing the language.
Put your dick in it.
It's a medieval glory hole if you've ever seen one.
I will put my tail in it.
Well, it's not a hole. It's just a different it's a piece of stone that's a different shade to the rest.
Okay.
Can we try and move it? See if it does anything. It looks like a puzzle.
Yes.
Should we press our hand against it?
Clearly a secret entrance, and we can only get in if we know thieves can't, but maybe we can work another way out. You said that stone is light enough, but if someone presses it.
So is someone doing a thing in particular?
Can we investigate it?
You can roll an investigation check, sure. Just more the merrier, really.
Yeah, well, I'm just a 9, but I'll try. Where is... Thank you.
Did you say you're just a 9?
No, yes, in passive and...
Oh, got it. Yeah, roll away. Let's see what happens. Okay, with a 10, I mean, you get the sense that it's probably a mechanism of some kind, but you don't really know how to activate it or what it does.
Someone taller than me needs to go and bash it.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll press it firmly.
Okay, cool. You push it, and you see this panel of the wall slides to the right, and it reveals like a spiral stone carved staircase.
Cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, I can go down.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
So now that we didn't need to do anything special to open that, I'm more and more thinking that that writing is probably some form of warning.
No, this is a pub. It's obviously just to stop this, just to keep the riffraff out, isn't it? It's just a secret. It's like a gentleman's club for thieves.
Maybe it says
Or
fuck.
an invitation to the secrets of the depths below.
That old man was obviously just a grave robber. I'm guessing this is just a hangout for lowlifes like him, but maybe he knows more.
I feel like it says fuck the inner ring, which feels very apt for a glory hole. Check it out.
Do you guys stay where
Your
you are?
humor
or do
is
you-
apt, small bear.
Your humor is apt.
Oh yeah, that when we made you dance, that was great. Let's go. Let's all head in.
All right, you go down the stairs, let's say, and you discover a very capacious-looking, I would say, tavern. Except there only appears to be 2 occupants: a bartender that looks of no real consequence, and a much more like fancily dressed man that has like silks and some sort of fancy fez type situation. And he says, hello there. And Zenarai, you notice above the bar itself is a sort of wooden plaque with that same series of scratchings from the entrance that you just walked past. And it looks to be almost exactly the same scratchings. So you still can't read it, but you get the sense it's the same sentence. What would you like? You see the man standing over here says, what can I help you with?
These scratchings are the same.
You say that out loud?
Yes.
Are you sure that you all belong in here? You know, this is clearly, and he gestures around at the empty tavern, this is clearly not a regular drinking hole. You might be more comfortable at the Rowdy Mews across the street.
We got kicked out of there.
And you see him laugh.
We were going to meet a fellow over here. He told us to come here. He was selling some wares next door, and said we should go join him for a drink. So we're here.
I think he
Okay.
might have some information for us.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. Let's see. I'm gonna roll an insight check for this character. He rolls a 1. So he says, "Okay, you guys seem like you're on the level."
Pretty legit.
I must warn you. Downstairs, where I suppose the main tavern is not quite probably what you're expecting. We don't do that much drinking. I mean, a little. It's more about fighting, to be honest with you. Do you fancy a brawl? Are you physical type people? And he kind of looks you up and down. Okay. Okay. All right, bear man. I'll take that as a yes. Okay.
Weak.
You I might just, because I don't think you. I'm surprised you got down here. He sort of says to himself. I must remind you of the slogan, and please forgive my manners. I am the one-eyed git, and you get a little bit confused because he's got 2 eyes, and he says, and this is my establishment, and we have one rule, okay, and it's written above the tavern, and he points to the wooden plaque, and he says, all may enter the Broken Gauntlet, but only friends may leave. So keep that in mind when you're downstairs, okay? And he sort of steps aside and allows you to pass if you intend to walk past him.
Right, so we have to be on our best behavior.
Should we see if he knew whether that guy came in here? Because if he's not in here, we were just going to get into shenanigans that we might not have time for.
Let's ask if he's seen the grave digging old man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do
the
you
guy
know-
that was carrying all the stuff on his back.
Yeah.
Okay, you give a rough description of him, and he says, oh, yeah, he's down there. I mean, he's more of a spectator than a fighter, but he's got the coin, so, yeah, fair enough kind of bloke.
This could give us some coin as well.
It could. It could very well.
All right, let's check it out.
Yeah.
If we
Maybe
have
some scrapping.
Fighting pit.
fine.
Okay, you guys head down the stairs, and what greets you is some sort of rudimentary fighting pit. There appears to be some kind of, I suppose, bookie over here behind a desk, and then a series of unsavory-looking characters watching 2 slightly bigger characters, like beat each other to death, or nearly to death. It smells like sweat and beer, mostly spilled beer. And you see this person over at the far side say, hello, are you participating, betting, watching? What's the story? Come on, quickly.
We participate.
You can. I don't like violence.
Well, I am violent. So, what do you guys think? Maybe a bit of money as well?
Yeah, I'm just here to just try and speak to that old guy, find out about the Death Stone. But if you want to do some fighting, I will support that and cheer you on.
I mean, I feel like if you do well in the fighting, people might like us more, tell us more. So maybe some good can come of the violence.
And
Maybe go ask about any rewards as well. You do some cash.
Okay, fair enough. Then I'll enroll in whatever fight this is.
Okay, this is how it works. If you want to fight someone, what they do is you put your stakes, what you're willing to bet, just in the pit, and anyone else that's willing to fight you for those stakes has to match your stakes and then fight you. It's very straightforward.
See what we have. I don't remember how much money I have.
Can you guys
We have
hear
9
me?
gold.
We cannot see you.
No, I know, but I'm saying we have 9 gold.
Oh no, I was talking to Fraser. Okay, you have 9 gold.
So how much should we? I think we should keep some going. 4,
No.
maybe. What do you guys think?
How much do we want to? I mean, we can cheat and shit, right? So we'll probably win. So yeah, 3 or 4 sounds good.
If anything, we're left with 5 gold and 7 copper.
All right,
So I think I've got a few gold pieces.
I'm gonna copy your characters across to this.
I'm just
new
going to get a quick beer while we're in this tavern.
All right, paste.
Have I got any gold?
All right.
Right.
Yeah,
Money.
I've got money as well, so you can bet more. I got 10.
Then should we go with 6 just in case? If you have some, if we need it later on.
Yeah, we're gonna make 53 gold from finding some lost douchebags. So I think bet some
Oh,
more.
sorry. The last thing I heard was the place smells like sweat.
Okay.
Yeah, basically,
So,
the bookie behind the desk over here asked who's participating, who's spectating, and
Cool.
once Abe indicated that they might be interested, the bookie explained that in order to participate, you drop whatever your stakes are into the pit, however much gold, however much valuables, and then anyone that wants to take up your challenge drops the same amount, and then you fight for it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, we might impress someone with your fighting. You're pretty good at it, aren't you, Avalado? So let's put some money in and have some fun while we're here, and we can. While you're doing that, we can look for the old guy.
As you were,
I've got 10 gold as well.
right. Okay, so how much should we bet?
5?
All of it.
30.
as you're having this conversation, one of the fighters sort of like taps out on the sand and sort of crawls their way out of the pit and retreats behind the spectators over here. And this thug sort of like stands there cheering at the crowd going, yes! And you see like blood and like spittle just flying everywhere.
Cool. Well, that
Cool.
gets me into a mood to fight, I guess. So how do we do this betting thing? Go down on 5 in my equipment?
So I'll put down 5 gold pieces.
Okay.
So you're going to drop 5 gold pieces into the pit?
Yeah.
I'm going to, just before you do that, I'm just going to show you, you recognize the old character. Did the old character introduce himself? I can't remember what name I gave him. The little guy that was like carrying the stuff.
Yeah, he did introduce himself and said, "Well, I'll be next door."
Okay.
I can't remember his name.
I'm going to say his name is Blaine.
Cool.
And you recognize Blaine over here, and he's sort of cheering on, holding like his like turkey leg in one hand and a beer in the other hand, and he says, go, you good thing, you just got me so much money, and he seems to be excited about his win. Okay, so you drop 5 gold pieces into the pit, and you see the thug here sort of turns and says, "Who challenges the great Goldar?"
I do.
Okay, so you hop into the.
So I cast thaumaturgy.
Okay.
And I use it to make the ground shake around Abelardo, and the flames that light the basement to flicker off and on.
Okay. I'll say, because thaumaturgy has, I think, verbal and semantic components, you have to actually,
Just
like,
verbal.
say you have to say something. So I'll say, is that it? It just says V next to it?
Just verbal, yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. In that case, I'll say you don't need to do a check, because that would have done, you would just be able to do that surreptitiously. Okay, so roll an intimidation check.
Boom.
Oh wow. Okay. You see Goldar takes a couple of steps back and says, okay, let's do this." And he reaches for his money pouch, kind of shaking his hands a little bit, and drops the 5 gold down. So I'll say, let's roll initiative. Tracker. Get rid of that one.
Does that mean he gets disadvantage?
Well, we'll see. It hasn't actually started yet. Add turn. So roll initiative for me, Abe. He does not roll a good initiative. What you can do? Oh, actually, no. Let me just put it in for you. All right, you go first. What do you do, Abe?
Is this just a brawl?
You aren't aware of any other rules because none were really described to you other than the stake. So you get the sense that it's anything goes.
Okay, so I'll just start with a normal one, just in case that we're not allowed weapons and we make enemies.
Cool. So what's a normal one? Oh, nice. Unarmed strike. Wow, yeah. 19 definitely hits. And you do 3 bludgeoning damage right off the bat, right to his little smug little face. All right, you see him sort of reel back from the jab to his chin and sort of like spits out more blood. You get the sense this is not even his first or second fight today. And do you want to use your movement at all? I'll say you needed to come up here. Are you going to stay where you are?
No, I'll just come up.
Okay, so you're right there.
Stay up in his
Okay.
grill.
So he's going to say, "All right, that's enough." And he takes out a mace, and you get the sense this is definitely a weapons fight. And he tries. Okay, with a 22, I think he hits just, right?
Oh,
Yeah, just.
Okay, so that's going to be 6 damage because he's got a d6 plus 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then he's going to try and hit you again. Makes 2 attacks. Ooh, and with an 11, his mace clinks off of your very substantial armor, and he says, he can't say anything, he's just breathing heavily. And he's going to try and move away. Oh, actually, no, he's going to move around because he's up against the wall, and that's bad. But because he's staying within your 5-foot, like, melee range, he doesn't attract an attack of opportunity. Okay. So now it's your turn.
Right, let's go with... Warhammer then.
Also, you guys can try to do things if you would like. Cheer, buy drinks, make bets, do anything you would like to do.
oh yeah.
So I move next to the chap from earlier, and I grab him round the shoulders and say, "Isn't this a great fight?"
Oh, you mean Blaine?
Yeah.
He says, "Oh yes, I recognize you, the pointy one from before. This is amazing. Quick, take this, get some beers." And he throws you like 2 gold or something, which is way more than you need for 2 beers.
"Thank you, Blaine, but don't call me pointy."
Sorry,
Oh,
your microphone is like hitting the limit of sound. What did you say?
Oh, sorry. I say, "Thank you, Blaine, but don't call me pointy. Only my mother calls me pointy."
He says, "I like you, person. This is going to be a great fight." Does anyone else want to do anything?
Yeah, I'd like to come and sit on the other side of Blaine, and yeah, I don't know if Zenoi is going to actually try and get some beers, but kind of.
Get the beers.
Okay, in which case, yeah, I'll come and as soon as Zenoi leaves, I will sit in his place Just say, actually, friend, we wanted to talk. What did you... we came across something quite strange in the forest south of the city. If I could have your attention for a second, I'd like you to ask you about it.
He says, is there any treasure you want to point me in the direction of?
So we came across a very strange sight. It was some kind of elemental beasts carrying a trailer, and they had a stone. And the stone appears to have some kind of evil coming from it. You don't know anything about that, do you?
I mean, I've seen a lot of cursed temples, abandoned castles in my time. I mean, that's my stock and trade, but I would need to know what the stone looked like more. Oh, yes, get him! In order to give you a more specific description. What color was it? What shape was it?
It was about 3 or 4 feet wide, extremely heavy and dense, a dark color, kind of like a rock, and a flying demon was in control of it, and he just defended it with his life. Seems like it's possessed or giving off some death magic of some kind.
Interesting. You also actually make an intelligence check, please, Joza.
Oh. The saving? No, it's a saving throw I just did.
Yeah,
wait a second.
Just a regular check.
There you go. Nice.
Okay, with a 6, you can't remember more specific details about it, but he says, I mean, yeah, I can't think of any rocks in my travels that match that sort of effect, but you're saying it has an effect on the area surrounding it? And then we'll cut back to the fight, and Abe's 10 misses, unfortunately, and the thug sort of steps out of the way and says, you'll have to be quicker than that. And then we'll go back to his turn, but I'll wait for Abe to get back. Then we'll go back. Oh, Abe's back. Okay,
Can I bless Abe?
Yeah, you totally can. What's the components for bless?
Actual components it requires.
It'll say like VSM.
Oh crap! Sprinkling of holy water.
No, that's okay. Like the actual holy water that you have is separate from your components for spells. But what other components? Does it say VSM?
It says VSM.
Okay, so that means you have to say something, hold something, and move your hand in some way. So if you're going to do this like sneakily, then you'll need to do a sleight of hand check.
Oh, I see.
So that the other competitors don't notice you.
So this may be frowned upon. Okay, I am going to put my hands by my sides and not try this.
Okay, fair enough. You get the one like dastardly thought that ever crossed Monty's mind was quickly quashed upon further consideration. Okay, he says,
friend.
I mean, maybe if you took me to this rock after the fight, of course, maybe I could give you some more information, but at the moment it just kind of sounds like a rock, really. And then you said that it has like bad effects around it. Is that what you said?
Yes, some kind of death magic. The area around it, we cast detect evil, and we think it has some kind of necrotic effect on the ground around it, and we didn't want to go near it in case it affected us.
Okay. Well, I'll definitely...
shout, 1 silver per beer? This is outrageous.
And we'll cut back to the bookie over here saying, listen, that's the rate. It's very nice beer. This is an illegal fighting den. What do you expect? Okay, and then we'll cut back.
Cheaper beer.
We'll cut back, and he says, after the fight, I'm happy to have a look at it for you. Maybe it'll lead me to something interesting. And you see this little greedy glint in his eye.
Okay, we'll hold you to that.
So, and then the thug is going to attack with his mace. Oh, with a 20, he hits, and he does... This time it's 7 damage.
Damn.
Oof.
I can heal myself.
Oh yeah.
Cool, and now he's going to try and attack you again. Ooh, with an 18, that misses you, right?
Yeah.
Nice, and he clinks against your armor again, and he goes, you will fall! And then it is Abe's turn.
Attack with the hand up. It's the same damage, right?
No, that one is higher.
Okay, then let's go with a warhammer.
Okay, with a 12 you hit. So that is, you're one-handed, right? Because you've got That's weird. 1d10 plus 2. 1d8. You rolled better on the d8 than the d10. Okay, so that's 10 damage. You see this is a big hit to his like face area. And he looks like rocked, sort of starts swaying on his feet a little bit. And you look like you're getting the better of him. Would you like to do anything else?
Can I attack again?
If I think you only have one. Do you have more than one attack? It'll be like.
I don't look that up.
I think so.
As a paladin, I feel like it's something you unlock, but I just don't remember when.
I believe it's under actions all, and it says like a second attack or a.
Yeah, it'll be
Okay.
like a special new feature.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay. So let me know if you find it, and then we'll go to the thug's turn, unless you have something you want to do at the end of your turn. And then, is there anything else anyone wants to do? Zenorite gets back with the beers by
4
now.
beers. Yeah.
And he says,
so-
thank you, my friend.
I'll say, have you, Joseph, I guess you've sat the other side of him, or you sat on Joseph's lap, but Joe says, maybe you could tell us more about the place you found your wares, let's just say, when we bumped into you on the road. Where were you coming from?
Oh, yes. Now, what was the name of that place? Give me a second. I mean, I was nearby. To be honest with you, I don't know what it's called, but it's just a big desert. It's kind of southeast of here. If you can survive the desert, there's some nifty little, let's say, leftovers for the quick-handed amongst us.
Interesting. I'll see what my party say about that. If you don't know anything about the stone, once Abelardo's done smashing this guy's face in, maybe we can take a look at that rock.
I'm intrigued, I must admit. Yeah, Zenore?
I neck my beer and Abelardo's beer.
Okay,
I find very hesitantly.
let's cut back to the thug who's going to try and mace you. With a 21, does that hit?
Oof.
Yeah.
Ooh, this guy's rolling well. 76. Ooh, that's 8 damage.
Still fine.
Abelardo is meaty as hell.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
still have 15.
okay, let's go mace again. 16. He keeps finding gaps and then getting overconfident and then swinging right over your head. And he starts to look around and starts to think about taking a step back, but then he fortifies himself. Your turn.
Fair.
Finish him!
You hear a chanting, "Dragon guy, dragon guy, dragon guy."
Kill him with your fire face.
I can't. I need to rest.
What would Abe like to do?
Well, I used my warhammer, not very successfully, but
Oh, I didn't even see that.
else.
So yes, 9 unfortunately misses, and you sort of overswing and start to like have to right yourself in terms of your footing. Is there? I don't think you could do. I think as a paladin, you could, as a bonus action. I'll have to think about it. But yeah, is there anything else you want to do, like taunt him or interact with an object of some kind?
I'm trying to find where I can, because I can heal myself, because it's a touch one.
Yeah, that's a lay on hands. You've got a pool of like 15 or 20 HP, but I think that's an action to do that. So you could do that next time if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Cool.
Then no, let's just try to finish him.
Cool. All right. You see the guy try to swing at you again. With a 10, he clinks off of your stomach metalled area. And then he tries to swing again. With a 21, he connects. But can he do the damage required? With a 5, I doubt it. That is 5 bludgeoning damage. And then it is back to your turn.
Right.
Finish him properly!
Dragon guy. Dragon guy.
So I cast Mage Hand surreptitiously.
Okay. If you're gonna... Sorry, one sec, Abe. We've got an intervention. So Mage Hand... What are the components for Mage Hand?
Voice and sound.
VS. Semantic means
VS.
like you gotta go like this.
Semantic, yeah.
So give me a... What are you trying to achieve first?
I'm trying to tickle this gentleman's perineum. To distract him, give a opportunity blow.
Okay, wow, this is gonna be specific. Give me a sleight of hand check, very literally. Okay, with a 16, you manage to cast it in a way that looks like you're like coughing over your beer. And you manage to cast this, but I mean, in order to, I'll say that works. So you see the guy sort of staggers back and starts to like twitch as if he's got something crawling all over him, and he says, What is this? And I'll say that gives you an opportunity to attack again, Abe.
Okay.
Sweet.
Because I'll say he steps away from you, so that's an attack of opportunity, just to make it like mechanically sound.
There. Did that happen? I didn't. No. Cool.
Ooh, bad luck. But I think it's your turn anyway, so you get to hit if you walk up to him.
Should I try to hit guys, or should I? Because I'm on 10 health.
Yeah, try to hit. You can't kill even one, I don't think.
Okay. Just do that then. Yay.
Yes, you hit. With 8 bludgeoning damage, you watch this guy collapse to the ground. All right, I've had enough. All right, you take it. Just take the gold. And you see him like walk out of the pit, like grumbling and swearing to himself. And you see the crowd go, "Yeah, dragon guy, woo!"
Oh, guys, I think we
jostle.
Yeah.
we should use it.
I jostle the grave robber jointly.
And he says, "Yes, I made more money off of you." Excellent. So, rock time, and you see him like drink the beer very quickly. So if you put in 5 gold, that means you have 5 more than you had before.
Excellent.
Sweet.
Cool. So where
we'll
would
get
you?
back 10.
You see this guy, this grave robber guy, just sort of walks up the stairs, not really paying attention. What do you guys do?
Follow him, I guess.
Okay.
Try and, yeah. Well, he said rock time, didn't he? So let's go, friend. And we jog up, and I kind of say, Abelardo, you okay? How did that go?
Fine. Should I heal myself?
Should you what?
Heal myself a bit in case we get into another fight.
Yeah, I'll say. I mean, you mean like a short rest or lay on hands?
Lay on hands. So
Yeah, you can totally do that.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to lay my hands on myself. And,
Dragon guy.
oh, there you go. And I'm going to heal myself 10.
Well fought, dragon friend.
Well fought. Well fought. It's always good to use violence against violent people. That's what I say.
It's good to tickle the perineum of your enemies.
I dreamt one.
Okay,
Cool.
I'm back to 20 health, guys. So
Nice.
Folks, I think we really should find a place to have a good rest after this little area. I'm getting a bit tired.
As you leave the Broken Gauntlet, you see the one-eyed git say, Mr. Dragon person. Haven't seen one of you around in a long time. And anyway, it looks like you've done very well. Thank you for patronizing this establishment. If you would like to take up lodging, we have a room over there. But to be honest, people don't really use this tavern as a tavern very often. So on the upside, the rooms are empty.
Okay, so should we ask this Blaine guy if he's willing to wait until we have a rest?
How long does the rest have to be?
4 hours.
You mean what kind of rest?
Oh, let's see. So
short rest or long rest.
yeah.
Like a long rest of 8 hours.
I think, to be honest, it's almost nighttime by this point. You guys arrived at the town about midday. You've been fucking around for about an afternoon's worth. So I would say it's coming up to nighttime.
Okay, should we just have a long rest and tackle the rock in the morning?
Yes.
Ask
Cool.
Blaine first if he's willing to still be there in the morning.
Blaine says... Do you ask Blaine this?
Yeah, we could. I think Josa is probably quite used to like slinking around at night and doesn't really care about that sort of shit. And also, I've got nothing to rest for at the moment, apart from just general good sleeping habit. So I could go with Blaine to the rock and see if he knows anything about it. I get the feeling he doesn't know anything anyway, but we could check that out while you guys are resting. But I don't know how that works.
That's good to me.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what does Zenerai respond?
Yes, I shall sleep and rest.
Okay, you guys hit the hay early, and Joser and Blaine head out to this rock. You see the proprietor, the one-eyed git, says, "The first one's on the house. Okay, you can have the rooms, but next time, then we'll talk about prices." And roll an insight check, everyone except Joser, because you're probably on the way out at this point. Oh wow, natural 20 followed by an 18. And a 6. Okay. Abe, you're a little rattled from your fight and trying to rapidly heal yourself, so you're not paying too much attention to social niceties. But Monty, you get the definitive sense that the one-eyed git is either doing a compelling impression of a dealer or is trying to appear to be a dealer, as in first taste is free kind of feel. Cool.
Okay.
All right, so you guys hit the hay, and we will cut over to the rock after about 10 or 15 minutes of travel. You make your way back over here.
So as we're approaching, I'm just sort of saying, so do you make good money doing this?
Oh, yes. I mean, it's dangerous work. I've almost been hit by a spike trap, 65 times?
Yes.
I've had some
Spike
ghosts.
traps, I hate those.
Some ghosts try to possess me a few times. That doesn't go down too well. I mean, it's dangerous, but... Oh yeah, it's good. It's good for beer money. In beer money terms, it's like decades worth.
And you always work alone?
Yes, I mean it's always been that way. I mean I've had people that I've known, but they haven't really. The odd person has come out for one venture or two, but as soon as they see the first spike trap, they're gone. Really.
Yeah, spike traps will do that.
So by this time, you guys have made it towards wherever you want to be. I think you guys can move these characters around. How do you want to approach it?
Just
Okay.
Well, on the road, whatever.
And he looks at the rock and he says, "Oh, okay. I mean, the rock just kind of looks like a rock, but I've seen that symbol somewhere before." And you remember now what you didn't remember before, which is on the side of the rock is like an engraved symbol of like a rectangle. I'll draw it for you.
Okay.
It looks kind of like this. And you're not really sure what it represents, but you see the guy say, I've seen that somewhere before. I think it's over at the Venomous Cops, maybe? There's this story that I wanted to investigate about a door. Okay, it's just this door sitting in the middle of this woodland, no building attached to it, nothing, just a door sitting by itself. And on the door is this symbol, and no one's been able to open it, no one's been able to find out why it's there, or at least that's what the stories say. And when I went to check it out myself, there was a lot of spiders. But yeah, there was this door that was just there, and I couldn't get into it, and I can smell there's some good shit in there. I can really smell it, but it's frustrating seeing this symbol again, but and he sort of starts to go on.
What do you think of this kind of weird aura coming off the stone? Can you feel that as well?
He makes an Arcana check. Wait, let me get his stats up just to be safe. Arcana comes from intelligence. He rolls a 3 and he says, yeah, I mean, I can't really see the ground around it visibly affected. My approach with these kinds of magic traps is avoid them, typically, unless there's some good shit there, and then I try to get over them somehow. But listen, I can show you on a map where this place is if you want to find more symbols like that, and maybe tell me what's behind that door. It's been killing me, but it's getting kind of late, and I'd love to rest up. I've got a hangover coming that I need to pay attention to.
Yeah, okay. Show me on the map, and I'll owe you a beer. Thank you for your help.
You're very welcome. And then he sort of walks back kind of jovially, swaying in his steps a little bit. And he points on the map to... I'll say on the way back, you guys can consult over his makeshift map. And he identifies this area here. And he says, that's the Venomous Cops, that is. Spiders just everywhere. But that door is really cool. I mean, it kept me up at night the first few months I saw it and I couldn't solve it.
Okay, good to know. I'll see what the others think. Maybe it's giving us some clues.
Cool.
We're not that invested in this rock. It might be something to do. Maybe some loot to steal, goblins to murder.
That's the attitude. I like that first part about the valuable stuff. The goblins, I mean, I'm not a fan of them, yeah. I'm not a fan.
You haven't heard anything about goblins and orcs around here, by the way. There's some missing villages that we've been asked to look into.
Yeah, I've heard whisperings about that. By this time, you guys have come back to roughly the Broken Gauntlet, and you're sort of heading down the stairs, and he opens the door to the passageway quite easily, and he says, yeah, I've heard something about that, but, I mean, rescue missions aren't really my thing. I mean, orcs don't tend to have... Well, I haven't really investigated, but I assume they don't have much in the way of booty. I've heard about it, but to be honest, I haven't paid that much attention.
Interesting. Okay, thank you for your help.
You are welcome. And he sort of stumbles over to the one-eyed git and says, where's my usual room? And they sort of head down the stairs.
I will say, yes, send me to the room with the others. I guess I'll sleep as well.
Okay, the bartender says, they took those ones over there. And he points you in the direction of the room sort of beside the first staircase that you come down. And long rest. And now you guys have your health points and your spell slots and shit back.
Sick.
Can I look around the room that I've woken up in? Are there any windows?
Let us have a little looky-loo. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but you are in reveal area. This one, and it does not have windows because you are underground.
Okay, so after I wake up, I'm going to light some of my incense, and I'm going to walk to the threshold of the door of the room that I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to sit down there. I'm going to put the incense by the threshold, and then I'm going to kind of sit and meditate for a little while. And I take out a small pouch of seed, and I kind of sprinkle the seed along the threshold of the door, and then sort of sit there silently for a minute to myself before getting up.
Okay. You do that. Are you communing with your deity? Like, are you praying? Or give me the specifics, if there is any.
It's a thing I do. It's a little ritual.
Cool. All right. Well,
I'm communing.
Okay. Well, I'll say you don't usually get a response when you do this sort of like check-in with your higher being, but on this occasion you get like a little breeze, which strikes you as odd because, there aren't really breezes underground. And you see that the breeze blows the seeds in a direction. And that direction is sort of all one way. And your sense of direction tells you that that way is north. And they all sort of like, skitter in that direction. And you're like, oh, that's weird.
I kind of gasp and like, get scared.
Okay, cool. That's your experience?
When I do this.
Sorry, what?
Usually happens.
Are we all in the same room?
No, I will say that you guys probably took up different rooms unless one of you deliberately wanted to bunk with the other.
Nah.
Sorry? What was that, Abe?
Close, not that close.
Oh, good. I'll say you guys put down your bedrolls in this room and this room. And, I think Monty got the better end of the deal with the only room with a proper bed in it. Cool. So what do you guys do now?
So, folks, when I did my little seed ceremony this morning, all the seeds kind of blew north. I don't know if that means anything, but maybe we should check that out.
Yeah, all right. Well,
Rituals of the bear man.
Don't mock my seeds.
don't mock my seeds. I have good seed.
I sharpened my horns this morning. The flakings pointed east, west, and south. Does that mean something in your religion?
You're very negative, Zenoi. So actually, after you guys went to bed, I travelled to see that rock with our friend Blaine, as I discussed, and he actually had some insights. It was a useful trip. He recognised the symbol on the side, the kind of the leaf in a box, and said he's seen that symbol before in the north, as it would happen, in an area called the Venomous Copse. if we wanted to find out more, that would be the place to do it.
So should we
I
find out?
think we should certainly gather supplies before we head north.
Yeah, you need
Yes.
holy water as well.
Yes.
And then
I need various druidic reagents.
yeah. There's also the orders for goblins that we need to.
Yeah. So while I think that there is a serious evil with this rock, which I do not trust. I don't really know much about it, and as much as I hate flying demons, I hate goblins and orcs even more. If there's a chance to wet my blade on some goblin blood, then I think I wouldn't mind doing that on the way.
Goblins are not okay.
Said go north.
Is it the way?
Seeds.
Do we know where we can find these goblins? Do we have any idea?
There's a very
Yeah.
loud drunk screaming and running past your tavern.
Very high-pitched voice. A eunuch.
Yeah.
It's a child drunk. You get the sense this town is in, bad way.
Yeah, we have absolutely no clues about the orcs and goblins, do we?
Well,
Yeah.
we can go and ask the farmers. They told us where to find them.
Yeah, but they didn't know anything. Did we even ask them anything about it? I don't think we did we?
They left before we could.
It's in the poison copse to the north.
No, the orcs and goblins. They've kidnapped people.
Oh, yeah.
The quest the villagers gave us.
And we didn't ask Blaine about it, did we either?
Yeah, I did, and he said he didn't know anything about it.
Okay.
Yes, he stays away from orcs and goblins.
So I'd
Okay.
suggest we go to the outer ring and start, knocking on some doors if we want to find out where they are.
Could
I suggest we resupply. We use some of our ill-gotten gambling gains to fuel our adventures.
we could kill two birds with one stone and visit our good friend at the Magic Scroll or whatever it's called.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he'll give us
Here,
great,
here.
he'll
Yeah.
give us great Francis.
Okay, let's stop there. Maybe he knows more about this various shit going down as well.
Sounds good.
Okay, so you guys head to the secret scroll.
Yep.
Okay. Can I hear my
Did he
own
hate?
voice? No.
Did he hate one of us less than the others? I think he hates all of us, doesn't he? He definitely hates Abelardo.
Yeah.
I think he hates me more than all of us because I tried to cast command on him.
My dancing.
So
He caught me breaking into the room at the back.
I suppose if you reflect, it's probably the dancing bear that was the least objectionable.
Yeah.
I would say so. He
we can
derived.
give him the money
Testing.
to
He derived some. Yeah. So yeah, I don't have any money, so I
We
will
can
take
keep-
whatever.
I give Monty 10 gold pieces with the instruction to buy 10 gold worth of charcoal, incense, and herbs.
Sweet.
You also remember, Monty, that your instinct was to cast a spell recently, and you realized that you hadn't got the jeweled stick components that you required.
Yes. And
I'll
now,
give
as
you
I
some money for
as
that.
I look in my purse, I realise that not only am I far too poor for these components, but my companions are too poor, or at least wouldn't want to lean on them this much.
How much is it? What is a jeweled stick and how much is it?
I actually require 25 gold pieces worth of said stick. Apparently.
It's a cool to step out of character for a second. It's a cool spell though. I mean, what does it do? It tells you basically you can ask the GM in character whether something is a good idea and whether the ebb and flow of the universe is leading you in that direction or not.
Yeah, so it's augury. So basically, if we're about to go on some sort of adventure and we're wondering if it's a good idea or not, Stan essentially has to give us some indication of whether there's good or bad ahead, or mixture.
Okay.
Well, I need
Gold points. That's a gold. Yeah, no.
Yeah, maybe once we have been offered 53 gold pieces to find some. There's some serious cash flow if we can
Okay.
get that done. So,
So-
maybe that's what we get with the reward from that.
Okay, so shall I just walk into the shop alone, so lest you ire him.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, on your own, we can wait outside. Well, what do we want out of this conversation? So we need you to ask about the symbol on the side of the rock, if he knows anything about it, or goblins or elemental monsters or anything.
And it was incense, charcoal, and sticks. Was it?
Charcoal, incense, and herbs. 10 gold.
Incense and herbs. Okay.
Goblins and orcs,
Yeah.
nearby area, and I guess just like see if he's got any cool magic items like that are afford as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
I might
was
ask-
just leading with the purchase because
Yes.
then you'll get him on side.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
I'll give
do that.
you. I'll give you all my 10 gold pieces as well, just in case something comes up.
Okay. Sweet. Thank you, sir.
I might give you something to buy some powdered silver and iron
Okay.
and holy water.
Yeah, good stuff. Could I borrow a little bit for my own holy water?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure
And I'll
thing.
get you some as well.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'll give
Okay.
you.
How much?
We were like waiting outside, looking through the window, really obviously.
La 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 la.
Don't worry.
We can't see in, but from the inside, it's just complete daylight, and we were like pressed against the window.
Okay, so I'll take the gold off my comrades for their purchases, and I will saunter in cheerfully.
Okay. You see the proprietor look up and he says, "Oh, hello, Dancing Bear Man. I thought throwing you out of here was a strong enough hint, but I take it that is not the case?"
Oh well, you see now I have good hard gold. You know, I bit it. It's real, and I just have a few items I need from you.
Okay. You see him sort of contemplate for a second. And he says, okay, well, I suppose if it's just you, please don't touch anything without talking to me. Or, better yet, tell me at the beginning, what is it that you need?"
So I'm looking for some charcoal, some incense, some herbs, and some holy water.
Okay, just to step out of character for a second, Zenorite, do the charcoal and herbs and whatever it is, do they have a cost beside them that is, like, required to cast that spell?
10 gold.
So, sorry, can you read to me the way it goes? Like, you need 10 gold of...
So it says 10 GP worth of charcoal, incense, and herbs.
Okay, awesome. He looks at the sort of various containers in front of his table and says, "Yes, I've got charcoal, incense, and herbs. That'll cost you 11 gold."
I mean, I understand that you can find these a bit cheaper in other places. How about I do a little dance for you? Would that
All right, make a persuasion check. How about I do a little dance for you?
Boom!
Oh wow. He says, okay, don't do the dance, please. You can have it for 10 gold. How about that?
Thank you, sir. That's okay. But
Okay.
just that my dance brighten your day. But each to their own, I suppose.
Yes, very
so
much
yes,
to their own.
I'll take those for 10, please. And,
Yeah, he wraps them up like hastily in some paper and gives them to you. Just take it.
What's the going rate on holy water these days? Got any of that?
Ah, well, I mean, typically you would need to go to a temple for that, but you might be in luck. And he sort of like tilts his head back towards his side of the counter, and you get the sense that it's kind of weird for him to have it. Like it's a bit taboo to get it from somewhere that isn't a temple, but he says, "Yeah, I've got some for you. How much are you looking for?"
I'm looking for 2 bottles.
Holy water. I'll say 2 gold. 1 gold per bottle.
Okay, absolutely.
Absolutely. More.
Yeah. Okay, let's stack up. How about can you do me any deals if I say want 5 or so?
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, I would love to do a deal, but I only have 3 vials of 3 bottles, whatever you want to call it, of holy water. Okay, they're all yours. I mean, they're quite hard to get, I'll be honest with you. The old, withered, priestly types, especially the Orpheites, they're the worst. They hold on to their holy water like it was, I don't know, a godsend or something.
Oh, I know. Well, I'm doing you a favor. Now, at least now, no one can say that you're stocking holy water illegally.
Yes, he taps his nose and he says, "I am very much on board with that." What was that? Sorry, Zenore?
So I turn to Joser and say, it's easy to get holy water from a priest if you're a halfling.
Wow, was that a Catholic like pedophilia joke wrapped in a halfling reference?
Yes.
Wow, that was deep. That was complex. I feel like
Joseph just nods and pretends he knows what you're talking about.
very indubitably. Okay, cool. So you get 3 vials of holy water for 3 gold.
Okay, and then I do this kind of, I do the classic double take. So I kind of go, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Oh, one thing.
Columbo. Yeah.
Columbo.
Yeah.
Just, I was wondering, have you heard anything about the strange rock with the runes inscribed on it that was dropped outside of town yesterday?
He sort of like twitches his head a little bit to the side and he says, no, I heard there was a hubbub outside yesterday evening, but I don't talk to the community. And he says community like in inverted commas, if I can avoid it. But I did notice, never mind. What is it? What's the rock?
Well, it's got this symbol on it. I draw the rectangle with the leaf quill thing.
Okay, he's gonna
Have you ever
roll.
seen this before?
He's gonna roll an Arcana check. Oh, with a 19, he says, yes, I think Blaine has mentioned something to me about a symbol somewhat like that. I think it's in a forest near here. He said there was a door. I mean, to be honest, he was unable to do anything with it, so the story is kind of useless to me. He had nothing to sell, but that does sound familiar. There was like a doorway in a forest, I think maybe east of here. Does that help you at all?
Sure. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just another thing. I was wondering.
He sort of sighs at you. Yeah, go on.
Have you heard of any orc or goblin activity around here? I hear there's been some disappearances.
Oh, yes. That's been happening over the last few weeks. The Inner Circle is looking into it. I've heard good things. Yes, I think the last disappearance was at the O'Reilly homestead. I think that's the last one that happened. It's just sort of down the street that way. And he sort of gestures down the street.
Could you mark it for me, sir?
Oh, yes. Yes. And he sort of haphazardly points like kind of a few hundred feet basically east of the street that you're on.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. And I'll see you later. One other thing. I just wondered, how is your wall?
Yes, well, I was able to fix the wall quite easily with a mending spell. The wall wasn't the problem. The problem was you just messed everything up. There's all my inventory. Okay, all right, I'm getting worked up. Okay, the wall is fine. I'm sorry I threw you out, but I was hoping for a speedier resolution. Roll an insight check. You see him put something in his mouth and starts chewing. Well, I know, I'm sorry I got worked up. I was hoping for a little bit of a cleaner resolution to that situation. And you get the sense that last time when you actually got this task from him, he was a little bit like superstitious. And you get a sense of that again now. And you're still wondering what it is that he's worried about.
You've got the magic back now, haven't you?
I was going to say, yeah. Can I ask him about? Shall I? No, I'm just going to ask again. So I'll just say to him, "Are you scared of the bag?"
Oh no. The bag is a simple trinket. I mean, it's a relatively common arcane item. What would ever make you think something like that?
Oh, nothing. Just looking out for you.
Okay, well, I appreciate that, Mr. Bear Dancing Man. Your gold is always good here, but I do have other things to attend to. Could you kindly conclude your business?
Magic items.
You've got 1 minute.
Got any cool magic items for sale?
Well, there's a couple of things that you managed not to knock off my fucking tables. They're over there. And you recognize some of the things that were back in the back room that you kept picking up and they kept changing places, and some of those things are now out here. You recognize the sort of like marble jug that looks like it's got water in it. You recognize the sort of various scrolls that, I mean, you don't really recognize scrolls, but there are scrolls. You see potions of healing. You see that ball of many, many iron like bands all wrapped around each other.
I pick that up and go, what's this doohickey?
The iron bands?
Yeah.
Ah, well, that's quite a useful item. What you do is you speak the command word and you throw it at a creature, and the creature, if it is sufficiently weak, will be restrained by the bands for a period of time, making it easier to deal with them. Huh?
Like Pokemon.
Well, kind of. A Pokeball actually captures it inside of the ball, whereas this is just like a series of metal ropes.
Okay.
What's this crossover universe where Pokemon is a thing?
Yeah, I like the idea that the store opened.
Well, yes, of course. This is how we get them to battle in the arenas. Don't you know the famous fighting arenas?
The store owner says, not quite like Pokemon. I mean, that god hasn't been seen on this plane in many a decade.
Okay. Well, I'm not particularly wowed by anything here. Really.
How surprising.
I look towards you guys at the window just to see if any of you are flailing your arms aggressively. But otherwise, I'm like, no, I'm sure we'll be back. I'm sure we'll be back. Good, sir. You have a good day. And don't worry, I'll talk to the mason so you can get a good deal for the wall.
Again, I was able to fix it with a very simple mending spell, but thank you for your concern.
No, trust me, I will get right on that.
I really want you.
You see him sort of make shooing gestures and keeps eating something from behind the counter.
I just sort of clump out.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
You're on the street.
What?
Nothing.
Okay. I give you some holy water and your change.
You get a holy water. You get a holy water.
And then I kind of like try to give Zenithar all his stuff, and it's kind of and I like nearly drop it as I pass it over. I'm just kind of juggle it all together.
Cool.
Thank you, clumsy bear man.
I'm sorry, I was just trying to help. Oh.
Your help is much appreciated. Now, let us find a brass brazier so I can do my druidic magic.
A brass brazier? Oh, a brazier.
Brazier. No, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. What would you guys like to do? You're on the street, you see some like villagers milling around up and down. It's kind of early morning.
So, Monty, what did he have to say about the any goblins we need to kill?
He said that there was a homestead, a farmstead, sorry, just a couple of 100 feet down that way. We should go check it out.
Are there goblins there? And I'm suddenly like on alert.
It was the last place that was raided, apparently. So we'll at least be able to find out from the victims, or maybe see some signs or tracks.
I say we check it out.
Go.
There may be some goblins in the floorboards.
Maybe.
Okay,
let's head.
So you wander a few hundred feet down the street and you come upon a series of homesteads. And you see that there is... oh, is that what I'm looking for? Is it? No, that's not it. Give me 1 second. There we go. You see there's one person out in their garden working, sort of tentatively tending to their field, and it looks like they're about to weed their vegetable garden. And you see a couple other houses, but no one else is outside at the moment.
That's yeah. So we walk over. If no one else wants to do anything specifically, and Joseph sort of says, "Hello there. Can we talk to you for a second?"
Oh, hello. Yes. Oh, are you the ones that we've commissioned to try to find our men for us?
Yes.
Oh,
that's
good.
exactly right.
Excellent. How can I help you? My name is Jane.
Hi, Jane. I'm Joseph. Both begin with a J. What are the chances?
Nice to meet you. And she seems like overly cheery at the terrible joke.
That's brilliant witchcraft.
We, to be honest, as good hunters as we are, we were hoping we could get some more information. What did you know about these disappearances? Has anyone got any? Do we know it was goblins, or is that just a hunch?
She sort of starts to look much more somber, and she says, "My husband, Jake. Another J name." And then she goes back to being somber.
I run away.
He was taken last week. I'm still holding out hope that he hasn't gone that far. I can show you where we saw him be taken, if you like.
Yes, please. Yes, any information we could help with this.
While this is happening,
for example, where do they think the goblins are?
You asked that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say Monty can ask at the same time as well, just so I can do them all at the same time.
Oh, I was about to say, while this is happening, I start snuffling around amongst the sort of hedgerows and vegetable patches.
Just for leisure, or?
Yeah, with my sort of muzzle and mouth. Like, there's just, I'm just trying to find snacks.
Okay, it smells in very good condition. Based on, actually, give me a perception check. Does furbolgs have any like benefits to their smell senses or anything?
I don't think so.
Racial traits. Okay, cool. All right, and she, as you're sniffling around, she leads you up here to this tree, and she says, Jake was trying to chop this down. We felt like it would let more light down into the veggie patch, and she gestures back down to the veggie patch, and she said, unfortunately, this was about dusk, and I was just in the garden over here by the well, and she points to the well, just getting some water for dinner, and there was this group of, I think they were goblins. I don't really know what goblins are supposed to look like, but they look too small to be orcs, and they just picked him up and took him. One on each side of him, and they weren't that big, but they took him so easily. I don't know how they did it. But that's the last time we saw him. I tried to chase him down the street, but by the time I got around the tree, they were gone. Sorry, what? Let's do Zenurai first.
I look around to see if there are any footprints we can.
Okay, footprints. And Jozo said something?
I was just going to say, when was this? But I think you probably already told me, but I can't remember.
She said it was last week. Sorry, a week ago. Okay, cool. And snuffling check, is that in?
That is in.
Okay, with a 10, and then we'll get to, I think Abe had a question as well. Don't let me forget. With a 10, you get the sense that the carrots aren't really ready yet, but the cost lettuce is in pretty good condition.
Ooh.
Take a good bite.
Okay, you take a good bite. She doesn't seem to notice, so it tastes quite good.
Okay. I stand up very proud of myself.
Sorry, Abe, did you have another question, or did I answer the previous one?
No, I was going to do the same thing as Siddharaya, actually.
Okay, I'll say you can both go and do it together, and one of you can roll a survival check with advantage because you're helping each other.
You're terrible.
So,
how is he working the camera and stuff?
Brilliant.
All good?
so my survival is +0. What's yours, Galahad?
Sorry?
What's your survival?
My survival is +0. What's
Oh,
yours,
mine's
Galahad?
+3. I'll do it then.
Okay.
Oh, wow. So you can click again and see if you roll better.
Probably not.
Okay, with a 21, you detect what looks like 3 sets of footprints of a goblinoid-type creature, most likely goblins, with one slightly larger creature with them that you don't recognize the tracks of. And they seem to be leading, sort of cutting a dead line sort of north of this area, ignoring the path itself and just heading in a direction. But you get a pretty firm fix on the trail, as it were.
Sweet.
Okay, that's cool. So if we go north, we should be fine with both things.
We can trail these bastards north.
Yes.
North.
Sorry.
North.
She says, Jane says, so are you going to be able to help us? Jozo, was it?
Yeah, I missed a bit of that, sorry. So we think they're north.
Yeah, basically the survival...
Tracks, and they're heading north. There are 2 goblin tracks and 1 creature that we don't know the tracks of.
But they were bigger tracks.
A bit bigger, yeah.
Okay. Yes, I recognise these tracks anywhere. This looks like goblin. I don't even need to do a survival check.
Yeah, you would recognize them as goblin tracks distinctly, the two smaller ones, but you don't recognize the larger one.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we feel that we can't, or like at least she can't see them because she saw them take the guy away, but she only saw the two goblins.
Okay. Well, the bigger track could be the bloke, right? I guess.
Yeah.
big-
Based on the survival check of 21, Abe doesn't see human-sized tracks, and you come to the conclusion, Abe, that they must have been like holding him by the arms like above the ground, so there was no footprints from him.
Okay. Yes. Well, north it is then. Where are we? Where's this farmstead? Do we say in relation to Orpheus? Orphea?
I will show you. Okay, so you guys were here. It's basically right here, that farmstead there.
Oh my God, they took him into Orphea.
Well, you get the sense that it's like curving around Orphea.
Yeah. I'm joking. Yes. Let's follow the tracks, and that takes us up towards the noxious copse anyway, and kill two birds with one stone.
You remember from your conversation with Blaine that there is actually two very similarly named areas. You've got the Noxious Thicket here, where Abe is from. This is kind of Abe's home forest, as it were. And you've got the Venomous Copse here, which is a newly revealed place to you that only Blaine has been to. So if you're going to go north, you'll probably encounter the Noxious Thicket. If you go northeast, you'll probably go to the Venomous Copse.
Well,
Let's go northeast.
why don't we follow the tracks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like if we get this money first, then we might be in a better stead for our next adventure.
Sorry,
Yeah.
what did you say, Zenari?
I was just going to say that if we can get to a brass brazier, I can do some druidic spells that will help us in our quest.
Okay, so you're looking for a brass brazier, or you're looking to purchase one?
I'm looking for one to use, not to purchase.
How is it described in the spell, just so I can be like accurate about it?
Yep.
Also, welcome back to the midnight shift on the radio station of your choosing. Every time I see it, it just makes me laugh. Okay, cool.
So it just says the reagents must be consumed by fire in a brass brazier.
Oh, okay. So that's it?
That's it.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, the sort of farming community on the outskirts of Orphea, you get the sense that a brass brazier is a little fancy for them. Maybe on the inner ring, you'll be able to find that sort of thing, warming expensive wine bars and cafes. But yeah, it's kind of a weird item. You would usually make them out of cast iron. So your memory, your instincts say you're going to need to go to a more fancy location to find one of those.
Very well.
What exactly do you need this for, Zenari?
It's just to create some spells that will help us as we go. But if the party would like to continue with the quest, then it can wait.
Well,
Okay.
we always see in the inner circle when we come back from the ogre's thing, if when we get the money, if we can buy you one in the inner circle. There should be a smithy there that can actually do something about that.
Yeah.
Very well.
Okay, cool.
Sounds all right to me.
So you guys follow the tracks, is that correct?
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Okay, cool. So you follow the tracks for quite a ways, and you start to get a couple of hours outside of Orphea, and you, Abe, recognize the outskirts of the Noxious Thicket as your sort of nostalgic place where you grew up, and you
Oh, my home.
yeah, you start to miss the sort of fellow Dragonborn peers that you've never known, really. You've sort of grown up there by yourself, not really knowing what your origins are. But you still have fond feelings for the place because it is, it's your home. So you travel for a little while, and then you come across... Okay, cool. So you guys are just walking through the thicket. Dave rejoined you outside the Broken Gauntlet. And I'll say Abe is in the lead because he's the one following the trail. What's the marching order like for you guys? Who wants to be in the front? Who wants to be in the back?
I'd say Joseph's probably slightly outside of the normal party, just like flanking them as usual, like a bit of a outer ranger role, like he's good at.
Cool. All right. So I'll say you guys are there. What was that?
I'll go behind Abelardo.
Cool. Monty behind Abe and Zenrai.
Yes, I'm taking up the rear.
Cool. All right. So you're walking for a little while, and Abe is starting to recognize both the trail that he's following and the local environment, and feeling pretty comfortable following this trail of this series of goblinoids. And you start to smell something a little bit different on the air. Roll a perception check with advantage, Abe specifically.
So I rolled 2 times, right?
Yeah, perception.
Ah,
Okay. With a 6, you can recognize it, but you're not really sure where it's coming from. You recognize it as a kind of mushroom that you used to love eating when you were in this area. It always used to grow around like particularly large trees around the bases of them, and it used to be one of your staple foods when you were sort of surviving in this forest. But you're having trouble identifying. What?
Can I grab some of them?
Well, you're not sure where they're coming from at the moment. You can make an investigation check to look for their location.
Cool.
Oh yeah, 18. Okay, so you're pretty confident that they are coming from here, this tree here. Would you go investigate?
Yes, please.
Okay.
It's my healthy snack. Eat it.
Okay, so you guys go over here. And I'll say you move over.
Mushrooms
like
are of neutral caloric value.
that. Okay, now what happens is the smell gets really strong as you get closer to this tree. And it's got something else in the smell as well, not just the mushrooms. There's like a spice been added to it, or a herb maybe. And as you get closer to the base of the tree, you realize that the scent is coming from up in the branches. And you look up and you see this weird like sack that has been attached to the trunk of the tree about 30 feet up. And it's been attached by a metal like rod about this long. And it doesn't seem to be in keeping with the rest of the sort of woodland environment. And you think to yourself that that's very strange.
Should I grab the thing that's hanging from the pole, guys?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I mean, so Josa, having spent his life in the forest hunting and tracking orcs and goblins, is obviously on very high alert at the moment, because this is basically his wheelhouse.
Okay,
and he thinks that this is quite suspicious, even if he maybe hasn't seen it before.
Okay, I'll say you guys all have different expertises that would probably be quite relevant here. So I'll say Josa can roll a survival check with advantage, so roll twice. Zenrai can roll an arcana check, just regular, because arcana is kind of a broad area. Monty, you don't recognize this as being something that is within the religious like discipline, but you can roll a perception check if you want. So 18 survival, 6 arcana, and 9. Okay, so Josa, you're pretty confident that this is not one of the traps that you are familiar with for snaring someone's leg, making them fall into a pit, making a giant tree trunk come down and slam them in the face. This seems not like one of those, because the metal rod, once you look closer, one of the things that makes you confident that this isn't a trap is that the metal rod is not attached to anything. It just seems to be holding up the sack in midair. So traps don't usually work like that.
And you say that so the bag is hanging from it by string, or just sort of hooked over the end or something?
Well, the sack is sort of braced against the trunk of the tree, and this rod is like keeping it where it is by virtue of floating in midair.
Now.
What was that, sorry?
Can I grab my mushrooms now?
You could attempt to climb up and raid it for mushrooms if you would like, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I tell the group that, you know what, close inspection, this doesn't look like an orc or goblin trap. It's not as crude or violent. I'm not saying it's safe, but It doesn't remind me of that sort of thing. I'm going to stand back and let you have a go at it, though, if you want.
Okay, so Abe's climbing. Is that the idea?
Yes, please.
Cool. To resolve the other two checks, Monty, you notice that this is a godless land. No, I'm just kidding. You don't notice anything of special significance, but you get the sense that it must have been... It looks to you like it's been placed there rather than organically having formed there. Not super helpful, but you also rolled a 9. Zenarai with a 6, you get the sense that, floating metal thing, probably magical.
Tight.
Yeah, tight, did you say?
Yes.
Athletics check from Abe, please, for the climb. It's not a particularly difficult climb, so just don't roll terribly.
I'll have a +4. Hopefully.
Oh, natural 20!
Oh, nat 20.
You scamper up there with the familiarity of a dragonborn urchin who grew up in this thicket, and you manage to grab the... sorry, are you attempting to grab the bag or just reach inside of it? It's sort of like cinched at the top with leather cord.
And get the mushrooms? Because I just want the mushrooms.
Sorry, you want to open the bag and reach in for the mushrooms?
I was hoping to just, tear it.
Oh!
So that mushrooms, so that I can have the mushrooms without touching the rod?
Sure, you can basically, slice the side of the bag with your claw. You have claws, don't you?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you slice the side of the bag, and what falls out is a little pouch that you can smell the mushrooms coming from. And you also see a letter sort of fall out, and you also see a jug fall out that looks to be made of a white stone, and that is all you see. But in order to catch, are you trying to catch them or are you going to let them fall? What are you trying to catch?
I'll catch the thing that looks like it's going to break, so I guess I'll catch the white thing.
The jug?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a dexterity check. Let's see how fast you are while holding onto a tree. Okay, yeah, 14. It's not super difficult. You go, jug, grabbed it. And then you watch the little pouch of presumably mushrooms and the letter sort of flutter down and fall down opposite of respectively. And you have that in your hand. The rest of the group sees this little pouch go clunk, and then this letter go...
Grab my pouch.
What's
was
this letter?
You open the letter?
Sure.
Okay. You don't know how to read it, because what are your languages again?
I speak Celestial, Common, Elvish, and Giant.
Yes, you don't recognize it. Yeah, and it's not like a brother or sister language to any of those, so it doesn't look familiar. And you think, what is this gibberish?
I look really nonplussed at the others and just thrust it out at arm's length.
Abe.
I stride over arrogantly.
Okay.
So let me see.
Okay. You have a look, and you also are unable to read it, but primordial is kind of a little bit similar, so I'll say you recognize it as being draconic, but you just can't read it.
I can speak Draconic.
Sorry, say that again.
I can speak Draconic.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was primordial, infernal. What was the other ones?
Draconic and Common.
Oh, then you can read it. Okay. So, Abe, are you still in the tree at this point, or do you come down?
I'm coming down for my mushrooms.
Okay, you come down, you pick up the mushrooms. Zenarai, I'll say it's a pretty quick note. It's easy for you to read if you take it, considering you stride it over arrogantly. This seems like the logical thing that you would do. It says, if you can read this... Actually, let's do something fun. Everybody who isn't Zenarai, turn off their speakers, because they won't be able to read this.
Okay.
Okay, is everyone... Can't hear me? Okay, sweet. All right, Zenarai, it says, if you can read this, my mission must be taking longer than expected. Please, fellow Dragonborn, if you care about the fate of our people, look for me at the Roost. And the Roost is written in capital letters like it's a special name.
Okay, so while everyone's muted, so Sheila can read Draconic as well, but she's up the tree. So...
Well, she just jumped down to pick up the mushrooms, but she's not hurrying to the letter or anything.
Okay, grand, got it.
Cool. You guys are
Okay.
back?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so you're on the ground. You've got a pouch of mushrooms that look to have been, whatever the word for jerkified, they've been made into mushroom jerky.
Mm.
Nice.
Jerked off, I think, is the.
Yeah, they've been jerked off until they've become tastier.
Yeah.
Can I check what the jug that I have in my hand is?
You can roll an Arcana check, yeah. You hear birds twittering in the distance, by the way. It's sort of like a tweet, 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 tweet. Okay, with an 13 of Arcana, you get the sense that this is more than a simple jug. It looks to have water in it from the outside, but when you look in the top, there's no water. So you get the sense that you'd probably need to spend like an hour or so with it, familiarizing yourself, and then you might understand its secrets, but at the moment it's just bizarre.
Okay. Fine. The cordialist jug.
Joseph says, "What about the letter? Can you read it?"
I can.
You can.
So I've read the letter, and it says something about a quest that has taken too long, and that the reader can meet him at the roost.
Can I check that letter?
Do you take it from
Yes, be
Zenarai?
my guest.
Okay, you take it. You take it from Zenarai, and it says pretty much exactly what he described. If you can read this, my mission must be taking longer than expected. Please, fellow Dragonborn, if you care about the fate of our people, look for me at the roost.
Okay. Do I know what the roost is? Because I have never met another Dragonborn.
I'll say roll a history check.
Ooh, I think I'm awful at history.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, I'm awful at history.
15. That's pretty good.
Sweet.
You get the sense that it's a place. I think if you really stretch your mind back, it's like a mountain, and it's in somewhere around, but you don't remember where. You're just like, oh yeah, that's that mountain I heard of that time, but you can't remember where it is.
Okay, fair enough.
But you get the sense that if you looked into it, it's a thing that some people might know where it is.
I might want to look into that, given that I don't know any other Dragonborn at that point. But we are dealing with goblins, aren't we?
Cool.
With goblins, not your ancestors and brethren. But I would like to meet some of them.
You notice as you were climbing down, Abe, that the metal rod is still there, even though the sack has fallen down. And you notice with your various checks that there's a little button on the side of the piece of metal, the rod.
Okay, should I just grab it? Seems like a floating rod would be a good thing to add, now that we know that it's from someone that has left a long time ago.
I got called a floating rod once.
You got
You'll always be a floating rod to me, Ash.
Sure.
Yeah, take it.
Can I take the rod then? Should I do another?
How do you take it?
Just want to grab it and press the button and see if that is what makes it work.
Okay, you grab it, you press the button, and it suddenly comes out of position, and you can hold it like a normal thing.
Cool. Can I keep it?
Yeah, I don't see. There's nothing stopping you so far.
Excellent. I'm keeping the rod then, guys, in case we need floating rods.
You can
Cool.
put a rod in there.
I'll say over the next hour or so, do you continue following the trail, I assume?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
get back and find these orcs down.
Looking at the jug to see if I get anything out of
I
it.
think you can do
Okay, so the jug is a decanter of endless water. And you could find it now, I think, in the compendium thing. And you spend a little bit of time looking at the rod as well. And you suddenly realize that the properties of it match the properties of an immovable rod.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
the one of endless water is fairly self-explanatory. And as is the immovable rod, you can place it anywhere, press the button, and it'll stay there in space, and it can hold up to 8,000 pounds of weight.
8,000 pounds.
That will be useful, guys. See my
Sweet.
love
Okay.
for roll.
Oh, Abe.
What did Abe say?
My love for rods came in handy.
It's true. I think that's clear.
Get the thing up.
Zenerai greatly approves of your love for rods.
That's very, very nice.
Okay, you guys continue on. Just let me like copy your little icons here so I can keep track of them. You probably stop to have a little bite to eat during this hour of travel, and when you discover the properties of these items you picked up, it's all been pretty leisurely so far. Abe's got a real firm fix on the trail, and you guys have the benefit of Abe's knowledge of this wood, so you sort of are having a pleasant journey. And sorry, just let me move your icons around for a moment. Okay, cool. And you suddenly, the forest stops being so dense and it opens out into quite a wide valley. But it's not a normal valley. It's got weird sort of like corrugations in it that look a little bit like... Wait for it. Look like this.
It's very black.
There we go.
Okay.
So you're in this open space, and it's got like this weird rocky outcropping, then a little ditch, then a big tall stone obelisk, then another ditch, then like a stone table it looks like, then another ditch, and then so on and so forth. So that's what you see.
Where are we?
Well, you this is your point of view, as it were.
Ah, okay, I see. Yep.
Abe, the trail leads around the very outskirts of this thing without going too far. It's just sort of just going around the outskirts of this thing.
Right. Should we check? Because it kind of looks like a cemetery or something like that. I think that's where all my Dragonborn ancient people are.
Looks like
That's
a
boring.
Yeah, these-
Uh,
missed that.
Good. Roll a perception, see if we spot anything about it from here, or
I'll say. Oh, actually, what are you trying to look for, Jose?
if there's any traps or anything, or
Okay,
does this look like
You can give
anything
me
interesting?
a perception check, Jose. Monty can give me a religion check. Anyone else want to determine anything?
I want to know if it's a cemetery.
Oh, you want to physically walk over to it? Go for it. We'll do that in a second. Is that all right?
Yes, these rocks look like hellish phalluses.
You want to do a phallus check?
A hellish phallus check.
That would be... Goodness me, what would a phallus check be? I'll say medicine.
Performance.
Boom.
Can you guys see your little icons, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you can see like Dave, Monty, Zenerai, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Okay, with the 17, you are definitively confident that these are not the penises of devils.
It's a shame.
Good to know.
But you know it for sure. Okay, so what was the other check we did? Perception. Jose, with a 9, you conclude from this distance, it's kind of hard to tell whether traps are present or not. You'd kind of have to get closer. Monty did a 23 religion. Holy moly. Okay. You're pretty confident with your background and your like deity that this is a place that is wholly within nature. And it looks like these structures placed around the outer ring. And as you get closer, you can see more of it. It looks like these structures are like graves. You know, graves that are like built up with rocks on top of them rather than buried below.
Yeah.
And you notice there's like a shape in the center of it that sort of resembles some sort of deer-like creature. And you get the sense that this is something associated with Shantia, the god of agriculture.
Aha! Okay.
Mind sharing your exact moment?
Yes. Well, no. I think this. I believe this is the shrine of Shantia, who is my god, who I regularly pray to. So, I think I may want to go check this out.
Monty, could you give us a primer about Shantia, your deity.
A primer.
Shanti is the god of agriculture, so kind of all about keeping the land fertile and things growing, and you don't want to piss her off.
It sounds like you may have pissed her off.
No, it's fine. Maybe we should go check it out.
How long is this going to take? Because I really want to murder some goblins.
Yes.
Well, I guess
Murdering is
we do
fun.
it and investigate as we go.
I'm gonna go look at this altar.
Where did the trail go again? It went round it, didn't it?
It basically went. If you can see my mouse, it went like around this outer ring without kind of going further in.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so if Joe says if you guys want to take a closer look, I'll follow this track up to the edge of this area and then keep an eye out from there, rather than maybe walking into a trap.
Okay.
Yes.
So Joser's going to go sort of around the outside to roughly like here, where the track continues. Is that the idea?
Yeah, like here.
Okay. So there.
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Can
And
we-
Zen. Sorry.
Can we? I mean, is there a height difference here, or are we all flat?
No, yeah, it's corrugated, and it's about it's not much. It's like a
Okay.
5 foot drop between the two elevations.
So we wouldn't be able to tell that the inner corrugation is in the shape of anything. Or-
No, I mean, sorry, Monty knows because it's
Monty knows, okay.
something that is like familiar, and I'd say you guys are seasoned adventurers. You can start to put together, like looking from the height that you're at, that it's probably the shape of something like that. But obviously, you don't have the benefit of a perfect bird's eye view.
Gotcha. Well, I approach with Monty the central tablet.
Okay. Is there anyone else that wants to do anything, Abe?
Yep, I wanted to check this out as well.
Okay. All right. And Dave, I assume, goes with Josa?
Yeah, maybe let her slink about a little bit further north.
Okay, sort of like up here.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So as you get closer to this stone rectangle, you notice that the sides of it are engraved with flowers, trees, grass, stones, lots of things that resemble the natural environment, but there's nothing on top that is engraved. And you notice that the stones that surround the altar each have a similar symbol on them. Like one has a tree, one has a stone, one looks like a river, and the last one looks like a flower.
Agriculture.
Okay, I am going to take out of my pack a large white feather that I have with me.
Do you have it? Like, is it a feather of a specific thing?
It's a starting item that I have.
Oh, nice! Like one of your trinkets or whatever.
Yeah, it's a single white feather,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna go up and put it on the altar, like lay it in the center.
Okay. Okay. As you do that, you notice like the grass north of the altar, roughly here, starts to like peel back a little bit, and what you see is an enormous elk.
Yeah.
Can you guys see that icon?
Oh!
Really elky adventure, isn't it?
I
Can you
shout, kill it!
can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And it starts slowly walking towards you, except this one looks a little bit more bright than the one you saw in the magic guy's shop.
I turn to Abelardo and ask her, Abelardo, and say, can you tell it that we want to kill it?
I don't want to tell it that you want to kill it. I can talk to it though.
Yes, that too.
Right. So I'll cast the Speak with Animals, unless he has a special connection with the elk.
No, meanwhile, I am like knelt by the altar, just like with my head in my hands, just kind of sobbing and saying, I'm sorry.
So let's talk.
Let's see what the elk does. It was about to do some shit.
As it gets closer, Monty, you notice that there's something in its mouth, And as it walks up to Monty specifically, are you holding off on casting your spell, Abe, for the moment and seeing what happens?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what it drops at Monty's feet is like it looks like a pendant, but it's been woven from sticks and vines and pieces of wicker, and it looks like a rudimentary, like, religious symbol. And Monty, you recognize it as the symbol of Shanti. And you hear this voice in your head, and everybody turn off their speakers so that just
You can go.
so that just Monty can hear.
Okay.
Is everyone good?
Yes.
Okay, cool. What it says is, "You already know I don't blame you, but your people will be harder to win over. Return this keepsake to its rightful owner, and they'll point you towards the right path." And then you see the giant elk sort of starts to walk away. Did you catch all of that?
Who's the owner?
Well, the elk doesn't specify, but you have this keepsake. Cool. All right, I'll gesture for everyone to come back. Cool.
Back.
Yep. All good. Someone's got like an echo. Oh, it's gone away now. Cool. Awesome. So that happens, and you watch the giant elk sort of slowly stroll away, and it sort of like walks back down into the ground itself, and then the grass like peels back over to like seal it up again.
Bearman, what is going on?
Make
Had an
actually.
offering for me. This is the amulet of Sean T. So I've got to give it to someone. Yeah, for sure.
Isn't that a type of French cream?
That's Sean T.
What is cream?
No, apparently I can give this amulet to someone and they'll help us out in the future.
That sounds useful. Anyway, I'm too far away to talk, so I'm just watching this.
And
Why did the elk give this to you? I'm suspicious.
Well, I've been following this religion for a very long time. I'm a devout believer in Sean T. And I'll
Then why were you crying?
well, we have rich pasts. Our past is a tapestry, and it's
Why
very
were you
emotional.
rubbing your head and crying?
It's very emotional to speak with my God.
And why didn't you look at it?
I did look at it. I got a thing from it. I got
Yes.
I cast commands on Monty.
Okay, show me the text just so we can see what kind of check needs to be made.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, so firstly, what is your one-word command?
Confess.
Okay, so you need to make a wisdom saving throw, Monty.
Okay.
What's your DC, Zenere?
I don't know what these.
So it says attack save wisdom 13.
13? Okay, so you gotta do a wisdom saving throw and beat 13.
And my
You haven't yet.
Okay, I see. Here we go.
Oh, wow. A natural 1. Typical commands. Okay, cool. So you feel this compulsion to explain your actions magically take over you.
My God told me that she doesn't blame me. She doesn't blame me for what I did. But my tribes people might be harder to convince that I didn't do something wrong.
Okay. So you should keep your weird pendant and
Yeah,
show it to
yeah,
them.
yeah.
If you come
Exactly.
across
I
them.
think like, if I show this to my people, it might be okay.
So I say to Monty, you needn't have kept that from us, small bear man. We all have pasts we are not proud of.
I don't want mine to affect you guys. I just carry on how I'm doing. It's the best for everyone.
And when
I say
you
silence. You are accepted.
when you finish this sentence, it takes about 6 seconds, and then you feel the spell wear off you.
Okay. Ugh. What happened? Ugh. And I just take the feather back into my bag.
Should
Cool.
we keep on going for the goblins then?
Cool. Do you guys keep going?
Yeah. Joseph says, "If we're quite done here, got some blood to spill. Let's go."
Some goblins.
What was that?
Let's go kill some goblins.
And I feel somewhat lighter, but at least my god doesn't blame me.
That's good
something.
to know. 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. All right, so
Somewhat.
Yeah,
Your
somewhat
god talks
better.
to you. You feel somewhat.
okay, you follow this trail for another couple of hours, and you get the sense, Abe, that their steps are getting faster now. Something to do with the distance between the tracks, like they're rushing, and you come upon another clearing.
Also, is it just the 2 goblins, or is it also that other weird one that we couldn't recognize?
Yeah, it's been the same footprints the whole time. The 2 goblinoid footprints and this one larger set of prints.
Fair.
And you come upon this fairly large, like, encampment with a series of ditches surrounding it, palisade wooden walls, even like gates fashioned from wooden logs at various intervals. And you realize that the tracks lead down into this encampment. From your vantage point, you can see 1 or 2 goblins sort of like milling around, tending a campfire, that sort of thing. But you can't see much over the walls themselves.
Okay. Joseph, what do you know about goblins? Do they live all together and can attack us in a horde?
Yeah. So I mean, correct me if this is canonically wrong, but I'll say where I'm from, they come in raiding parties. Between packs of 5 to 100. They usually live in rudimentary cave dwellings or kind of places like that. It's rare that they will build massive fortresses, but every now and then they will establish in an area long enough to set up a camp of sorts. This might be that, but I'd need a closer look.
You want
Cool.
to take a close look, given that you're the ranger? Because I'm kind of big and they would probably see me coming.
Yeah. Where are we? Did you say we're from the south?
Oh,
Coming up to
yeah.
this?
Yeah, so you're literally... maybe I'll just place you guys on the map. Hold on. I'll have to like shrink the scale because the scales of the map change, so I'll just have to make this a bit smaller. You guys are further back than this, but I'll put you here just for the... Actually, you came from the south, but yeah, you'll just have to use your imaginations because this map doesn't have much more like space.
Fair.
So you're in the... Oh, where's Dave? There he is. There she is, I should say.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so you guys are there, but in reality you're about 90 feet further south than that, at the edge of the forest where it becomes the clearing.
Okay. I could sneak up and take a closer look. What do you think? Can I use a perception check to see whether I see any watchtowers or anything that might make that harder?
Yeah, perception it up. It smells kind of bad every now and then, by the way. You get like a whiff of a bad smell.
Have my muffins.
Oh, wow. Okay, with a 23, you see a bunch more stuff. You notice there's a gatehouse here. You notice there's another like gatehouse. Is that what you were asking about? Gatehouses or watchtowers?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
something that would make me sneaking up more difficult.
Yeah, so basically on either side of each gate is 2 towers. You also notice there's a pit just about here. And it looks like a place where they might keep animals or something like that. You see another gatehouse with 2 towers over here. And you see another one over here. That was strange.
Sorry, I'm back. Has my computer might have died, but do carry on.
No worries.
Okay. So we're a bit further south. It looks extremely well defended. There obviously isn't there isn't an obvious route in. And if those guard towers are manned, then we're going to have a problem. Has anyone got any spells or anything that could, other than just me using a stealth check, has anyone got anything that could hide someone's approach or hide all of our approaches, if that's what we want to do?
I can disguise self, so I can make my clothing, armor, or weapons look different, but I can't change physical body type, other than being a little shorter or taller. So I couldn't exactly make anyone a goblin, but maybe if they've got a certain type of armor or sigil or marking or something, maybe I could give us that.
So I have one spell slot left, which I can use to cast darkness, which creates a magical darkness that no one can see through, basically.
Okay. With a 23, can I see whether there's anyone in the watchtowers?
Yeah, you can. They are manned by one or two.
Okay. Manned or goblined?
Sorry, goblined by one or two.
Okay.
So what I would suggest is that I could cast darkness on myself and stealth my way in.
Cool.
To what end?
To do some reconnaissance.
Okay.
Perhaps Joser and I could do it together.
But maybe there'll be things aren't usually dark in a big ball around here, and they might might get all excited.
Or maybe we can wait until it's a bit darker, but they won't be able to tell the difference between normal darkness and just magical darkness.
So we could wait till nighttime, or we could create a distraction, or we could do both. We could wait till nighttime. You guys create a distraction, and then Joser and I stealth in.
I like the idea of wait till dark.
Yeah, me too. And also then we can basically just keep watching them, see if we pick up a pattern of guards or anything like that we can abuse.
Yeah, patrol pattern.
Yeah. Is it is the ground all around this all sort of low level? There's no vantage point from a different. We could see into the camp a bit better or something.
Well, try and climb a tree and see if I can see it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, go for it. I'll say climbing a tree is not too difficult. Make a perception check.
Who?
Abe. Ooh, 15. I'll say you notice a little bit more. You notice that there's another pit over here. And what you notice from your vantage point is that there are people in there in addition to animals and pigs and things. Can you see those icons?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. I found the missing people.
Okay, let's go back and claim our money.
And you notice another one there. Do you notice any more? No, I think that's all you see. And from that vantage point, you see that, and you see a little bit more. You see that there's all these different encampments sort of beside the pits.
Huge.
Okay, how about at night when you have your magical darkness, you can sneak around and get those people that are there trapped, and in case you need backup or a distraction, we can stay out and draw some of them out if necessary.
Well, I suggest first we wait for night and then scout the area more. And then I can use darkness as a if someone's about to see us, I can use it and it'll help us blend in or escape.
Okay, so you guys are waiting until nightfall.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested to see, because all we can see so far is slave pits. Where is the command structure?
I'll say with your various perception checks, you notice that, if you put together all the different information that all of you guys have noticed, you notice it's kind of here.
Okay, that'll be it.
Have we noticed more or less how many goblins there are around, or not?
Yeah, how busy does it look?
You see some. The only ones that seem to be out in the open are around the central structure.
Okay.
Obviously in the guard towers themselves.
So obviously Josa is like getting like, although he's obviously a very calm character generally, or relatively calm, he has a insatiable bloodlust for goblins and orcs, and just knowing that there are some nearby is he's not like anxious, but kind of bristling with anticipation, I guess is probably the way to describe it. So he's very keen to get in there and start murdering. Even though he's a fairly stealthy guy, he's also has an uncontrollable passion for murder. Yes, he accepts that maybe waiting for nightfall is the best way to not all get killed. But he really wants to kill some stuff.
Okay, cool.
Do you
So
stealthily kill some goblins in the night as we go?
Kill as many as we possibly can.
If
Okay.
we wait, kill more of them.
Okay, yeah. Joe's is kind of like, you thinking about this, like, wait, kill more. Okay, yes, yeah, we'll kill more later. Kill more later.
okay, cool. So you guys wait until nightfall. Night falls. What do you do now?
Should we stealthily? Well, first of all, should we try to go round that east entrance? That is
I would suggest we create a distraction.
okay.
Yeah, I think there'll be too many inside for us to actually take on. Ideally, we want to be able to get the people out of there before things kick off.
And we can kill as many as we can while we're doing that. So
Oh, sure, yeah, Joseph, yeah, we'll kill as many as we can.
Oh, okay, yeah. Good.
Yeah.
So why don't we split into two teams? So Abelardo and Monty, as you're kind of the tank and healer, why don't you go to the east and create a distraction? And Joser and I will stealth our way in from the south.
I feel like we should stay within shouting distance of each other.
Everybody, at this point, you start to hear noises. So everybody make a perception check with advantage because you've literally been studying the routines of this place for 5 hours. So everybody roll perception twice.
Perception 2.
There you go.
Bet.
20?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take the nat 20, please.
Okay, so we've got a 20, an 18, or a Monty. Okay,
A 24.
Sorry, a 24. You all notice that every now and then throughout this little encampment, you notice these wagons, these red. I mean, there are various kinds, but they're little wagons, and you hear noises of them being like unfastened and unhitched, and you hear noises and grunting of sort of, and then human noises of these humans looking like they are being sort of shuffled onto these wagons. You see a couple more of them down here. You see another one there. You see another couple over there. So basically, you can gather, based on the few torches that have been lit and watching them move around, that they're moving the humans from the pits onto these wagons, or they're at least in the process of doing that.
Okay, so maybe we can grab them when they're on the road, because that looks like they're going to take them somewhere.
Yeah, maybe. And we can ambush them. Wait for one of the pits to come out. But the point, there's so many humans in there that, I mean, we can't wait for all of them to come out, can we?
I think we must stealth into the compound.
Well, what about we wait for one of the wagons to come out, and then, I don't know, somehow dress up as goblins and wagon back in, and then break out from inside like the horse of Troy?
I like this plan.
It should be a wagon, given that I'm 6'6". So, yes.
We're
I don't know.
7 foot as well. We can walk on our knees.
Yeah, that's true. So well, so there's three pits that we can see. Was that a fourth one in the north as well? I mean, the only way we can save all these humans is to kill all the orcs and goblins. I think.
Yeah, we're gonna put them all on carts.
I love that the character bent on bloodlust has come to the conclusion that the only way we can deal with this is to really kill everyone.
to murder them all really violently.
I mean, the most strategic solution.
Yes, it's a cost-benefit analysis.
But maybe, maybe if we attack the command center, we can create a bit of chaos.
So sneak to the command center and sort of cut the head off the snake.
Yeah, that should. From what I know, goblins are not radiant, from what you've said. So if we cut off the head, they might disperse.
So let's begin sneaking into the compound, set an ambush, and then we can enter the command center.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
I feel like goblins are very dumb. I feel like just they'll think it's a darker night if we all huddle together within a cloud of dark.
Haven't you, Zenoi, haven't you got like throwing your voice and shit like that and the booming voice and stuff?
I've got thaumaturgy.
So yeah, couldn't you use that to cause a distraction on the north? What's the range on that?
So the range on that is 30 feet.
Okay.
Something like that, I think they'll know that something's wrong. Whereas if they just think that it's dark tonight, they might not be alert.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we start sneaking. I mean, darkness only. Let's do that. Let's start sneaking.
Okay.
Okay. What? So just straight through one of the gates, the entryways.
Yep.
Or can we try and hop over one of the walls, right? There's way fewer guards there.
Yeah, the walls are about 7 feet high. You could probably climb over them with a decent climbing check.
Yeah. I've got some rope and shit as well, as long as we're all quite sneaky.
Okay, so
you could use the darkness to cross the what's it called, the ditch, and then get over the wall. And then once we're inside, it's just like using stealth.
Okay, is anyone?
I'll save darkness until we need it.
Is anyone human?
Nope.
Okay, does anyone not have dark vision? Is my question.
I
have dark vision.
I do not have dark vision.
Monty,
I don't think I do.
Okay, cool. So basically,
That's why
So what I'm saying is that Fraser's character will have to be in the front if you guys want to have the best chance of like seeing. And what about Abe? Can Abe see in the dark?
I don't know where to find it, so I have no idea.
It's like bottom left, maybe.
Proficiencies. I think
Dark
it's under.
vision. It's a racial trait, so it'd be under racial stuff.
Okay, let's check. Sorry, features and traits.
I don't think you do.
No, I don't think I do.
Okay.
Or it is like
unless we find out otherwise. Okay, so you guys have to sort of follow Zenarai in order to avoid things. I mean, you've got like the normal amount of dark vision that we all get when it gets night and our eyes adjust, but you can't see like perfectly. Cool. So which wall are you trying to assail? Ping on the map where you're trying to go.
Like there? That wall? What do you reckon?
Yeah, that's shortest distance.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's guard towers everywhere, isn't there? Like here. Then we can sort of head in this way.
Up there? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll say, everybody, if you're going to be doing this, let's make a... Everybody make a... what kind of check would this be? Everybody make a stealth check with advantage. I mean, it's dark. So yeah, everybody stealth check twice.
If I have a disadvantage next to my stat, what does that mean?
Click on it and find out what it's there for.
Yeah, I can't put. It's due to wearing scale mail.
Are you wearing scale mail?
I am.
Okay, then you have to roll stealth. So it's a regular roll for you.
Okay. Well,
Mine as well.
I got mine.
Yeah, mine as well, because I also have disadvantage because I have an armor.
Oh, okay.
So just
no, but that's no, not for Abe's one is with advantage because your armor is adamantine or whatever. It's like special armor.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
It just
okay.
has the D as well. But
Yeah, it has that, but I don't really like the way the game does that, so I've changed it. Okay, so we've got a 16, a 17, a 21, and a Monty. Okay, so 12. Okay. So that's pretty good. As a group success, like basically Monty is under the close supervision of everybody else as he kind of stumbles about in a gangly, incompetent manner, and you manage to avoid him stepping on most of the loud twigs. Now that you're at the wall, everybody's got to try an athletics check to get over this wall.
Okay.
Oh God.
It's not a particularly difficult check.
Oh.
But, yeah. Goodness gracious me. Okay. So what happens is
Range.
Joza just backflips over it. Where is he? He's just there. And he lands on the other side. And what you see is kind of this. Actually, you only probably see that because your dark vision's not great. Dave manages to hop over because he's a panther. She's a panther.
Thank
you. Who else did a decent job? Abelardo climbs up with just practiced ease. And then Monty and Zenerai scramble upwards before immediately falling back down on the other side and making a loud sort of like thudding noise. And you hear a couple of the goblins in the watchtower and at the sort of wagon nearby go, and then you hear some like footsteps starting to like move in that direction. What do you guys do?
So we book it round to the entrance. Just
So-
get away from where the noise was.
This way?
Yeah.
Okay. So you
Well,
guys,
where was the noise from?
well, you heard the noise from roughly this area.
Yeah. So they're going like this way, right? So out to the entrance to kind of come and inspect it. Do you think? Well, we don't know, do we?
Right.
So
Yeah.
I want to say, Joseph's like to Abelardo. It's like, okay, it's you and me. We can take out these guys. Otherwise, the other two are going to get caught on the wrong side of the wall.
Zenerai, maybe we can enter through cloud of darkness through the main gates.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay, I'll show you what this looks like just so that you can get a clearer idea. Where am I? Okay, so what you see is that these two humans are starting to be moved up towards these this wagon up here. And you also see that two goblins have like gone out here to investigate the situation. And they're going to do a perception check to see if they know which direction they should go look in. And just let me open up their stats quickly. Oh, that's not right. I wonder what their perception's like. Okay, not great. Okay, with a 6, they think that the best course of action is to... It's tense, though. So you see them, they're basically going to head towards the gate. What do you guys do?
How about, given that I am quite tall, I can try and help them up?
Yeah, I've got rope as well, so we could throw rope over.
Yeah, why don't we try and climb over if they're going?
Yeah, exactly. They're going the wrong way, aren't they? So
Yeah, let's do that.
okay, so I should I give my rope to Abelardo because I'm guessing he'll be able to pull them over, whereas I wouldn't.
Sure, yeah.
Well, what have I got here? Yeah, that's what I can use.
I think I also have rope, if not.
Okay, so make athletics checks, guys, Monty and Zenerai with advantage because you have a rope now.
Should I also do one?
No, you're on the other side. Oh, you're just holding the rope. That's fine.
Okay.
So I'll say 11 and a 12. Yeah, Monty just barely manages to climb over the end of this. Like, it's not actually that much taller than he is, but he has a real trouble getting his bulk over the top of this wall. And you guys sort of collapse on the other side.
Sorry, guys.
Cool. So you're there, and you see Zenerai can clearly see the backs of these goblins sort of like heading outside the gatehouse, but they're pausing here to do like a little look around, but you get the sense they probably won't stay there very long.
Okay. So I'm going to stealth up this way.
Which way?
How did you?
Just hold down the left click button. There you go.
Yeah,
Okay, you
I'm
can
going
go
to
that way.
stealthing this way.
All right, you're gonna go up this way.
So are those little circles, are those like huts?
Yeah, the little circles are huts. Okay, if you're gonna,
Okay.
Is anyone following Zenurai? Let's get everyone's actions like in one group before we see what happens.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's all the humans. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're what,
fair
sorry?
enough.
Yeah, I think.
Okay,
So,
you
but
can go.
those humans getting taken north, there were goblins with them, aren't there?
Well, you get the sense that the two that went to investigate were probably the two that were escorting those two humans.
Okay.
So they've like left their slaves there to go investigate the sound.
Okay. So should we? We're trying to be as sneaky as possible, obviously, so we don't raise alarm. Yeah. So what's the end game? We want to get into the command center, don't we? And massacre some goblins and orcs. Goblins, just goblins.
We let the humans
Well,
know we're coming.
Oh,
One other suggestion is that you guys could engage the goblins that are outside, and then I can darkness round to get in and have a look at what's inside.
I think that might be a good idea.
So we go and take the two from behind.
Yeah.
How about this? Because I know you said the whole like you don't want to raise the alarm. What about like sending a flaming arrow over to like the far side of the camp or something, setting a little fire in the watchtower? Because then it might, I don't know,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
drag a few north, or do we continue with stealth mission? I guess you can keep doing both.
Well,
If
we're
we
going to need to stealth a bit closer anyway, because it's too far away for us to get there in one turn.
Yeah. Okay.
I can go for the goblins. If it's only two, I should be okay.
I mean, there's three of them.
In the middle.
Down here, there's
Yeah.
only two.
Yeah.
Oh, there's three up here. Yeah.
And of course, Josie, you are extremely bloodthirsty for goblins.
Well, I mean, if they're there, it's part of the. On the way. We can kill a few.
Zenurai starts to see that these two goblins are starting to head back inside the compound. What do you guys do?
Okay, let's move north. Let's move
Yeah,
north
let's-
and engage.
So you're moving to the command center. Is that the idea?
How does
Yeah,
can I
move
ask,
to the command center, and we're going to engage them in combat.
how does is there like a sneak attack?
For a rogue, there is, but basically, if you attack from a position of being hidden, you get advantage. So that's good.
Okay.
But as you walk past these humans, the men say, "Who are you? Are you here to help us? Who sent you?"
No, so just kind of runs up and says, "Can you fight? Can you help us here? We're trying to break everyone out.
Yeah, sure. Do you have like a club or something?
Has anyone got any spare swords or anything?"
I do. So I mean, I've got some spare daggers and a sickle.
I don't have anything.
Yeah, give them one each.
I'll give one guy a dagger and one guy a sickle.
Okay, cool.
No.
They say, "Oh, cool, thank you," and they start to like cut their ropes off and say, "All right, where are we going?"
The idea is we're going to hit the command center, knock them out in one fell swoop, and then we can let your friends go.
Okay. And then but wait, hold on. Do you know how many of them there are in here?
How many?
Like 20, 30, many.
Okay. New plan. Let's free other humans instead.
Okay,
As well.
why don't you guys scout out and free the other humans. I'll cast darkness on myself and scout out the command center to see what's going on.
Before they raise the alarm, how about
Let's take-
me and
yeah.
someone else? We all go and take those two
Let's just
down
take
there.
these two out. Let's take these two out. Because then at least if we take them out, we can shoo the humans out through the south entrance.
Yeah. Okay. Are there? Do we know? Are there goblins in the watchtowers, or do we think these guys are in the one to the south? Yeah.
You can't really tell. The only one that would be able to see is Zenurai.
Oh, because of the dark vision. Yeah.
And you also notice at this moment, you see the goblins coming back inside the compound saying, and they start like rushing towards you.
All right, get him.
Yeah. Ping them. Okay. So so are we stealth, or have they just like?
Basically, you guys were stealth until you stopped to talk to these guys, and then because the goblins have dark
Standing
vision,
around.
the goblins have dark vision, and you were just sort of standing in the middle of the field, they just saw you. But also they rolled a 16, so they would have seen at least one of you anyway. So what is everybody roll initiative?
Is
Yes.
is initiative an ability check?
It's technically a dexterity check.
Okay, I can re-roll if I roll a 1.
Oh, because you're a halfling. You can roll a 1 for. You can re-roll a 1 anytime. Yeah, I think for an ability check or an attack or whatever.
Yeah.
Cool. So everybody just type it in. It needs Dave and Jose's initiative still. You can roll for. Do you roll for Dave? No, Dave goes on your turn, so you can just give him the same initiative as you.
Okay, I can't change that.
Oh, Dave's one?
Yep.
Okay, I'll do it. So he rolled 11 as well. Cool. All right, so first up is Abe. How does Abe respond?
How does Abe respond? Abe is on her way.
Dun 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 dun.
This matters. You could get
We need to, whatever happening, we need to basically like stop them raising the alarm, don't we?
Yeah. So just smash them quickly.
Yeah, quick information
I'm
shout.
melee, so.
You probably want to
You're very
zoom
close
in
to
as much as your map will go. Well, about probably like 200% to get a good look.
So I would attack the one on the west.
Right. Well, I'm near enough, so I'll just try and move here so that I can attack one.
Sorry, you're moving. You can move your character wherever you would like to be. Oh, down here?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Okay. You're going to attack the one on the east, right? Roll an attack roll for me.
Let's see. Let's try my Warhammer.
Ooh, 19. Warhammer straight to the goblin face. You absolutely see a couple of goblin teeth come out, and it looks
Nice.
like it looks bloody as hell already. Even though you only did 3 damage, it's like these things don't look particularly hardy. Is there anything else you want to do with your turn?
No, I'll just stay there. So I don't forget.
You see it go, and it starts to like hiss at you. Next up is Zenrai's turn.
So I'm going to blast the same one that Abelardo attacked with Eldritch Blast.
Okay, roll a ranged spell attack.
How do I do that? Cast in VTT.
That sounds right.
Boom.
Oh wow, that definitely hits. And which one are you aiming for?
The one that Abelardo hits, or the one
Yeah,
east.
you basically, the bolt of energy goes straight through its torso and it just collapses on the ground. It is gone. I am going to... Cool. Is there anything else you want to do with your turn?
I start moving to the north. Just to here, crouching behind it.
Okay. Did you move your icon already?
No, I can't find my...
Oh, sorry. It's
in the
hidden
dark.
underneath, like, stuff. There you go.
So, yeah, just like to there.
Awesome. Okay. Next up, sorry, I had to roll for the little people. I forgot about them. So that was Abe. That was the goblin. So now it's the goblin's turn, I think, because we just had Zenrai. Sorry, it like reordered itself. Okay. So this goblin is going to try to strike Abe, the one that like killed presumably its friend, and it is going to try to scimitar you. But with a 10, it just clinks off of your armor and it starts to look around for its options and looks over towards the command center and hisses at you again. Next up is Dave and Josa.
So can I just check one thing? Hunter's Mark.
Yeah.
If I display in VTT, is that? Yeah.
Yeah.
So how if I use this on this goblin now, if the target drops to 0 before the spell ends, which is an hour, you can use a bonus action on a subsequent turn. Can that be a subsequent turn in a subsequent combat?
No, it's in the same like combat, because that's the only time you're in turns. Because if you have a combat, then it ends, then you wait a while, then you go into another combat, like so much more time has passed.
Yeah. Okay. And because the type of spell that is, can I cast that whenever I want, or is that like a spell slot or something?
It's a first level spell slot, but you can cast it as a bonus action, so you can do it on your turn in addition to an action.
But how many times can I use that?
It would depend on how many first level spell slots you have. So if you go to the spells tab of your character sheet, it'll tell you how many slots you have. Rangers, I think, have like 2 or 3 maybe, or something like that.
3. Yeah.
3. So you could cast this 3 times.
Okay. Well, yeah, I won't use it now then. I will just my horrible memories come flashing before me, and I draw my short bow slowly but surely, and try to fire an arrow into his spine.
Okay, go for it. Roll the attack for the bow.
So this one.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so you just managed to shoot the arrow where his leather armor joins his like collarbone, and you see it go, and he falls on the ground. You guys managed to evade alerting the troops, you assume, but you get the sense you're in a precarious position. What do you do now?
Well done, guys. I was going to help.
High fives all around.
What did you roll in your initiative, Monty? We didn't even get to you. What? 8. Nice. Cool. So what do you guys do?
Can I check if they dropped any weapons?
Sure, yeah. They dropped a scimitar and a short bow. They were each carrying one of those, so there's 2 of those.
Can I grab them then?
Yep.
Awesome.
Okay. Joseph's like, hunt begins, but let's move on. There must be more.
Cool.
So why don't you guys get the humans to the east, and I'm going to stealth and check out the command center.
To what end? Again, to what end? What? There's like loads of goblins there. I don't think you'll be able to, if your stealth doesn't work.
I feel like we've gotten 2 out. If we work from the periphery outwards, that means we should only be killing like 2 guards or 3 guards or whatever.
Yeah, they seem pretty weak, don't they?
I feel like we should get these humans back on the road rather than tagging around with us.
Yeah.
You think so? Yeah, if we arm them up, we can cause a little rebellion, and if we take the weapons from each goblin and arm the humans.
So, we've got another scimitar and a bow, so we can give that
exactly.
Yeah.
So we should ask them if they know where the rest of the humans are or what they're doing, just to have an idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious that they're in like slave pits and they're getting funneled off somewhere.
Yeah.
But
so
might invisible thing was.
Yeah. Well, so next we know where the next 2 pits are. There's one north, one east.
Yeah.
So I guess east is probably the quickest from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like the area in between might be like barracks or something.
Yeah, we should go around
maybe, because those aren't those pits. Those are like.
Or we should check if we can do
a
perception check to find.
There's a path like this area around here, that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, those goblins just went down like a sack of shit, didn't they? So.
Yeah, they're pretty easy. I mean, yeah, if we don't want like tens of them on us, but if we find them in little packs, we'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah. Ah, good. Feels good to be killing.
Really enjoying it. I like that you're advising Zenoride not to go to the centre and start from massacre.
Sorry.
So even with Joseph's bloodlust, he's still like, go to the concept.
Well, because also, yeah, I mean, I do want to get some gold and save these people, and we are like walking into a huge base.
Die. That's the main thing.
Exactly. But this is how Joseph hunts like goblins and shit when he's in the forest. You like set traps and like mislead people and pick them off one by one.
Sick.
But he just really enjoys it. I think we're going to keep moving like this. So I think we need to. We definitely should have come up with this plan before entering. But I think that the next step would be try and stealth through sort of this area over to here.
So directly to the right.
Yeah, and we've picked up those weapons from the previous goblins.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Also, very quickly, let's drag those dead goblins and chuck them in like a shadowy corner, like here or something.
Yep. Fair enough.
Okay.
I think I'm right by them, so I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Two strong people grab them, and we'll drag them just and chuck them out of the line of sight for patrol or something.
Okay, so roughly like here.
Yeah, just like behind some barrels or something.
Okay, cool. All right, you do that. Now, which direction do you go?
We don't actually know what's over here, but I think we want to try and maybe like sneaking around underneath the wall. Probably seems like a good idea. Or
okay. Sorry, what was that, Monty? I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. We noticed that these buildings are not like the little shitty huts, so I think we want to sort of skirt around them, maybe like this way, just in case it's a barracks or something.
What was that?
Cool. So you guys head down. Zenarai, are you in the front?
Yeah. Or do you want a one-man crusade on the command center?
I'm quite up for that, really.
What do you hope to find there? I think we've established what's going on here. There's clearly, we don't know why they're taking the humans, but they are doing something with them. I think the command center, we either hit it all at once in a kind of blitzkrieg.
But this is the problem. Like, these two bitches that we've picked up have said that there's like fucking 30 of them there, and we don't know for sure what's actually out there. So someone's got to go and check it out. So why don't you guys carry on with the easier stuff of going around, sort out this one here, and I, with my better vision, can go and get a better handle on this.
Well, he's the one that is going to be the safest because he has the same vision that the goblins. But given that the goblins are actually moving down, we should move our asses somewhere.
So we want to move over to here, don't we? So should we say, Joseph says to Zenarai, right, if you're, you got there and scout then, and we'll meet you at that next pit once you've had a good look.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so Zenarai, you head up here towards the command center?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll resolve that in just a second. I'll just move this long train of icons. Where's Monty? Why can't I move him?
So should we? Well, we want to do this stealthily because we want to get an element of surprise.
Everybody roll a stealth check.
Me too.
Yes, you also. But we'll obviously deal with it.
I really need to take this armor off. Oh, wow.
So you hit it, so that's pretty good.
Disadvantage.
So 6, stealth is a 10. Okay, and I'm going to roll for these other two, these randoms that are following you around.
I like these guys. What are their names? We haven't even asked them. On the way, I'm going to be like, I'm going to ask them their names.
Oh, wow.
I know him, Cunty.
Okay, so what you basically hear is that one of your human companions trips and falls in the middle of the street, and you also hear distantly Zenarai fall down and go, "Ah, shit!" And then you also hear Abelardo narrowly avoid falling down, but managing to remain quiet. Monty stealths it up like a champion, and I haven't seen. Oh, Joza equally well stealthed. So what you notice is that you hear suddenly coming from behind you, you see these much different kind of characters sort of pop out from these buildings behind you.
Sweet.
And they start looking around. So they're going to roll a perception check. What is that perception check going to be, I wonder? Wisdom perception. Oh, goodness.
Oh,
okay, so they instantly see this little group of, ne'er-do-wells skulking around, and one of them goes to sort of recapture these humans and track down just recapture the humans, and the other one goes to investigate what this other situation with Zenarai and possibly go to the command center. Does anyone want to do anything in this moment?
I'll cast darkness on myself.
Okay. How long does that last again? It's concentration for how long?
It's concentration for 10 minutes.
Okay, all right, so that's up. And so does anyone else want to do anything?
Am I still stealthed?
Yeah, you stealthed wonderfully, yeah.
Okay, and how far away? So that's 5 feet. So I'm about, what, 1, 2, 3, 4.
15 feet away from that guy?
Yeah, about, what, 30, 40 feet away from the other dude.
Yeah.
So...
It's about 30 feet, I would say.
Yeah. So the problem is, so North bloke is clearly going to try and raise the alarm. So I'm thinking if I can drop him with a single arrow, but I'd have to roll pretty fucking well. What spells and shit have I got that can help me here?
Oh yeah,
Can you cast a bless on me or something?
Have we got order at this point, or because if I cast, I've got a spell with quite a long range that is very damaging. I could probably take him out in one.
How noisy is it?
I mean, how noisy is it? A flash of light streaks towards a creature of your choice.
So visually discernible, but it probably makes no sound.
Yeah, no sound, but bright.
Yeah, this bloke might see it though.
We're not in turn order yet because you guys get to do something before that happens because they're still they only have really noticed the two humans so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I could take that guy out in a single shot if we're interested in that.
Yeah, the problem is this goblin see that and then raise the alarm.
Yeah.
I could always try to freeze this guy that is approaching us.
So North Goblin is facing away, isn't he? So
yes.
If we kill this guy in a kind of blitz attack, and then slink back into the kind of free these guys, he'll be north and not know what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I reckon. How useful is your bless attack? Your bless thing?
Bless is good.
But can you only use it once?
I can use bless 4 times.
And what does it do?
It lets you add an extra D4 on. Oh, do you mean the thing I was planning on using?
No, bless. Like, as in basically, I want to try and.
It adds a D4 to an ability check or an attack.
Yeah, it adds a D4.
Okay.
So it makes your roll better.
Beforehand.
Yeah, so I can touch you and bless you now because we're quite close, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
I think I probably could do that.
Yeah.
Question is then we don't know this guy's HP. Hang on a sec. Oh yeah, by the way, can I do something which I meant to do earlier, which I've just realised I got? Hang on. Features and traits, favoured enemy. Nah, fuck it. I want to kill this guy instead. Sorry, I was going to do a recall about something. Oh, well, okay, so out of context, earlier on when you said, what do I know about goblins? I have favoured enemy, which is I have an advantage on survival checks to track favoured enemy, as well as on int checks to recall information about them.
Okay.
So is there any chance I could recall a useful fact about this situation now that we're right in the middle of their camp?
Yeah, make a history check with advantage.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I had a bit fancy.
And your favorite enemy is what? Goblins?
Goblins and orcs.
Okay, cool.
Two.
So what's your check?
That's 1.
Okay, 18. You would recognize that this is a hobgoblin. They're slightly more structured and a bit sort of meatier than the average goblin. They are pretty good at fighting. They're more warrior based than the typical goblin. And is there any other kind of information you're trying to discern?
Yeah, like what their like social structure. Do
They outrank like the typical goblin, but because they're in these outlying barracks and they're not in the central building, they're probably not the number one in charge.
Okay, so these are goblins and these are hobgoblins.
That's correct. Yes, that's right.
Okay, so back to context. I think Joseph's going to try and use a sort of an attack from stealth to shoot this guy.
So
Okay, I'm going to bless you.
Cool. So you can add a d4 and you're also rolling with advantage, and then we'll see how Zenarai goes in his sphere of darkness.
Okay.
Okay, so that's 1. Go again. 22.
Nice.
That'll hit, and you could roll a d4 as well, but you don't really need to. So, yeah, with 7 piercing damage, you manage to significantly injure this person, but he's not dead at this point. But you can see there's a major wound in his abdomen. Go on.
Sure. Do you think that is adding automatically my
Your
what?
It is. Mouse over it. It'll show you.
Yeah, it's 1d6 plus 4. So you rolled a 3 basically, and then it added 4.
And what's that 4 from? Various things.
The 4 is from dexterity modifier. So that's your add, yeah.
But I also have fighting style archery. You get a +2 bonus to attack rolls you make with a ranged weapon. Or is that added to the attack roll?
That's added to the attack roll.
Okay,
yeah, the damage is different. All right, so we'll cut back to that in just a second. Zenarai, you watch... Actually, can you see through magical darkness, Zenarai? Is that one of your things?
Yes.
You can? Cool.
Yes, I can.
So you see this thing sort of walk around the outside of your dark sphere, and it sort of looks a bit confused that it can't see anything where it heard the noise. And so it starts to give up on searching and walk around to the side of this command center to presumably go inside the tent. What do you do?
So I walk while my darkness is up and try to enter the command center.
Okay, so you're going to go around this way. Give me a stealth check with advantage because you'll be crossing like around the outside of this campfire. Okay, with an 11, you manage to shuffle your feet to a minimum, and you see the goblins sort of turn around from their campfire and look, because they hear a shuffling noise, but they don't see anything, and it's pretty dark, so they just sort of go back to what they were doing. Okay, so you see the hobgoblin has disappeared inside the tent. You get to the entrance of the tent. What happens now?
I'll go inside.
Okay, we're gonna... What?
Yeah, I'll go inside.
Cool, you go inside. Let's go back to these guys. Now we're definitely in initiative because he's got an arrow in the side of his face. So let's just use. Actually, no. Let's do it properly. Goblin. Okay, so everyone. Did someone roll a bad initiative?
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Oh dear.
Okay. I'm just gonna roll these initiatives quickly. Oh, I thought it would apply that. Oh, it did. Good. Now the commoner. These little humans.
Oh yeah. My man.
Okay, so is that everybody has their new initiative in the tracker?
Yeah.
Cool. So first up is commoner number 1. Commoner number 1 is going to try to hit with the scimitar, but because they're not proficient with the scimitar, it basically does club damage because they're essentially a peasant. So let's see what he can do to this hobgoblin.
Come on, commoner.
With a natural 1, he manages to overswing his club and slams himself in the foot, and he goes, fuck! And that's the end of his turn.
Next high hopes.
Next up is Abe.
Okay, I'm going to move right by his side so that I can attack normally.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to use my trusty Warhammer.
Oh,
Nice.
yes. With a 22 and 8 bludgeoning damage, you cave in his skull and his body limply falls to the ground. But you hear sort of shuffling and footsteps coming from further on the other side of the camp, about 90 feet away, that presumably are responding to that random commoner saying "fuck" really loudly. And we're out of combat now, but you get the sense the camp is slowly like waking itself up. And then you hear, go on.
Take this guy and hide him in this corner around here.
Which
Yeah.
one? Shemi?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You drag him down there. That's fine. Go on.
I was just going to say, we so dispose of the body definitely, and then we need to free these guys and arm them as well.
Okay.
Go
Can
on.
I take this guy's weapon, whatever he had?
Yeah, you can take it. It's a long sword.
Okay, cool.
He also has a long bow, if you want that.
Yeah,
Sweet.
let's take both and
Sweet. All right.
Just said it.
You
Sound not
notice
better than what you've got, Hugo.
Zenarai, you're inside the tent in a sphere of darkness. You hear voices sort of in a language that is kind of like a different accented version of various languages you do understand. And actually, let's do it for fun. Everybody turn off their speakers because you're not in the tent, and we'll see what happens. Cool? Cool. You see this character. It looks like it has a beard made out of like spines and spikes, and it's got a very sort of like devilish appearance. And it says in Infernal to you, finally, all right. Take this and immerse it in water at the full moon this evening, and it will give you your next set of instructions.
I understand.
Good.
So I turn around and I walk out of the tent.
Okay.
Right.
Cool. This has been the most like secretive, no one can hear session I've ever DM'd. Cool. Because I think there's never been this many things in different languages and people in different places. Awesome. Okay, so what was I going to say? Who was wanting to do something?
I think once, so I'm guessing Abelardo joins us back, like here. We run over. We kind of pat this guy on the back and say, "Yeah, don't worry about it, man. You'll get them next time." And then we drag these guys out of the pit, I guess, and give them weapons. How many people are here?
Just one.
Just one. Okay.
Hold on.
then I'll give her the short bow so that they have some.
Longbow, I think.
I have a short bow as well because I've been collecting the ones from the goblins.
Yeah, okay. So,
Okay, responding to the sound of the random villager screaming and swearing in the middle of the night, you see this weird creature. And I'm going to try a cool thing here. Show larger version. Okay, ready? Shift Z. Wait for it. You see this large creature that looks halfway between a goblin and a bear. Just randomly strolls out of this tent to investigate the noise. And he's going to make a perception check. And let us hope that he does poorly. Wisdom perception. With a 3, he goes out and you hear him sort of grunt in a language that's like... But he doesn't seem to have spotted you yet. But everybody should probably make... Actually, no, I'll say you're safe for now. But the next time you move somewhere, you're going to need to make a stealth check.
Monty, is it time for you to blast that motherfucker with your magic?
Blast that motherfucker.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt on it.
Ooh, here we go.
Yeah, well, so we've got this guy out of the pit or not yet?
You have, yeah. He's joined you and he says, Oh, thank you. What was this? A longbow? Well, I'll try my best. And he pulls it like someone that doesn't really know how to pull a longbow.
Yeah, short bow.
Short
Yeah,
bow.
okay, cool.
Oh, a short bow. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a bit better. He's a farmer. He's going to do his best.
Like, let's go of it flies across the thing.
Yeah. Next, just before we get into this guiding bolt, so get ready with your attack. Zenurai, what you leave the tent?
Yep.
Okay. Are you going anywhere?
I'm heading down towards these guys.
Okay, so I'll say over the period of the next couple of turns, you'll probably come back down here.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
Sure.
Unless you wanted to take a different route.
No.
Cool. All right. Then guiding bolt.
All right.
So you attack with advantage because you're. Oh, does he have to make like an avoidance or something? So roll again.
Yeah. No, saving throw thing is make a ranged spell attack. The target.
But you're hidden, so you get to do it twice. Oh wow! Okay.
You are so bad.
A 7 and a natural 1. Okay, you see this giant bolt of holy light streak out from the Furbolg's hand and strike the yurt that this creature has emerged from, and the yurt starts to like light up, and it looks like it's roaring in divine flames, and the creature turns around and says, "Bleh?" and follows the path of the bolt to you and starts charging towards you.
A 1 and a 2.
Okay, I'm just gonna let's do initiative because it's fun.
Well, that went well.
It was funny though. It was very funny, and you've got a small army of peasants that you're developing.
Yeah, I like this. We're creating a little like revolution.
Yeah.
And they're shit, but at least also we're giving them a purpose in life, and if they die in the name of murdering orcs and goblins, then so be it.
Up with the rolls.
Only roll well initiative.
I have not been able to do a decent initiative roll for it.
Is that everybody in the tracker?
Yeah, I can't change mine, weirdly.
You can't? What?
Oh no, there you go.
Okay, initiative there. Now I know.
Yeah, I think Zeno, you're in combat here, aren't you?
Oh, that's not what I wanted. Hold on. Yeah, Zenurai can be in the combat, yeah.
It's a bugbear. We fucked these guys up before.
You have?
Yeah, it was our first. We were returning from murdering some bugbears when we first.
Yes.
joined.
Sorry, I should have described that you'd recognize them, yeah.
Oh, yeah, commoner.
Sorry, I can't see the famous.
I fucked up my computer.
Dave is on the same as yours, so we're all good. Is your computer okay?
I'm recovering it.
I'm recovering it. Okay, sweet. That means first up is Abe, the absolutely indomitable first initiative.
Ooh. So one question, because I never remember. Can I cast a spell and then attack, or is that the same action?
Yeah, but you can only do one or the other because they're both like different forms of attacking.
I'm going to cast Ensnaring Strike then.
Cool.
Nice.
Let me see if I need to move closer first. Do I need to move
It
closer?
says range or area self. So
Yeah, it's basically you cast it on yourself, then you do a melee attack, and if you can do it after you hit or before. It'll say.
It's for the next time kind of thing.
Cool.
Okay.
So you charge up towards him and you do this thing. So you use your attack. Okay, so this is the ensnaring strike, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he has to make a strength save. So he's gonna. Well, that's not. Oh, I really hate that thing. You know when like Windows thinks you want to close all the windows because you move a window from side to side?
Yeah.
Strength. A 16. Okay, so he resists the effects of the ensnaring strike, whatever the effects are, but you can still roll like your normal attack.
Mm-hmm.
Does he get anything happen to him if he succeeds the save?
Let me recheck that.
you can say paste it. Yeah. You can say share in. Display in DTT.
Oh, I see.
If you check that.
Yes, cool.
I think it just says while it.
While it lasts, if he gets attacked by melee, it damage. So should I?
Yeah, I don't think anything happens if. Yeah.
Okay, so it has to fail for something to happen. Okay, so just do your regular attack.
I did. Oh yes.
Okay, with a 14, you notice that this guy's armor and his hide is much thicker, and you don't strike with quite the force that you need to in order to damage him, and he sort of goes, ha 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 ha. And would you like to do anything else with your turn?
No, because if I move, he gets an attack of opportunity, right?
Yes, that's true.
Then I'm staying.
Joza, you're up.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to use my... I'll use a Hunter's Mark.
Go for it.
So I can use a bonus action and then an attack, right?
That's true. So yeah, sorry, Abe, if you had a bonus action type spell like Hunter's Mark, but they're very specific, then you could use that spell and attack in the same turn, but it's very rare.
Yeah, no, I think I have it for my special things, but not for this.
Cool. All right, so your turn. You do the Hunter's Mark. So you get to add like a certain amount of damage every time you hit it, right?
Yeah. So...
That's a weird way.
Yeah, what the hell does that all mean?
I would just read the actual text of it on your character sheet and ignore the sort of roll 20 thing, because that's just do whatever attack you intend to do, and then we'll add the Hunter's Mark afterwards.
Wow.
Got it. Okay. So let's go. Ooh,
Oh wow,
nice.
26, that hits. So 9 piercing damage
9.
is very much gonna hurt him. And then what do you add for the Hunter's Mark?
Until the spell ends, you deal an extra 1d6.
So now roll 1d6.
That's up here, isn't it? Like that.
Nice.
3.
Okay. So you do a substantial amount of damage to him. So
So yeah, that was... Hang on.
the arrow hits him right in the jugular, and he starts bleeding profusely. And but you know, he's a big guy, so we'll see. What else would you like to do?
Where am I? So I'm here. Can I? No, hiding is an action, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Oh no, it's a bonus action if you're a rogue, but you're not a rogue.
No, I'm not. Okay. In that case, I'd quite like to because then I won't be able to see anything. Yeah, I'll just stay where I am.
Sweet.
It's fine.
Next up is this bugbear's turn. He's going to try to crush as much as possible when the bugbear hits with it. He has like this Morning Star, which is an even bigger version of the mace that you were being hit with in the fighting pit, Abe. So you're getting like violence flashbacks. And he's going to try and hit you. Oh, with a natural 20. That's going to be annoying. Okay, so that's going to be 2d8, so that's 8. So that means 16, 17, 18 damage.
Okay.
Damn.
Alright, guys, that's fine. I still have 18 health.
Wow, Abe is substantial.
Lucky, yeah.
Sorry, what was that?
I was just making exclaim noises about the amount of hit points.
Yeah, it's huge. And then the bugbear looks down at the non-crushed Abe and sort of goes and starts like gripping its wounds, hopefully trying to survive a bit longer. Next up is the commoner. The commoner is gonna try to use the bow that they've been given, and because they're a little scared, and they're gonna try to make. Where the hell is this attack? I'll just roll for them because we're kind of getting into like custom territory by giving them like weapons. Okay, they roll a 3, so their arrow goes way wide. Next up is the other commoner. The other commoner is a little bit braver. He's gonna go up and try to do an actual attack.
That's a mistake.
Oh, with a 17, I think that hits. So we're gonna see what kind of damage that does. So that is 1d4. Did they get any? They rolled a 2. Yeah, 1d4. They do 2 damage to this creature.
What a
And
legend.
The creature kind of looks around like they were stung by a mosquito. And then we're gonna... Sorry, just getting your window back up. Next up is Zenarai. What would Zenarai like to do?
Blast it with Eldritch Blast.
Blast away. Oh, natural 20. Okay,
And
so
a crit.
Sick.
so you rolled an so disappointing every time. And +3 equals crit 3. Like, none of that makes sense. That's not how you calculate damage. Okay, so roll a d10 for me, like manually. Oh, nice. Okay, so that's doubled is 16. Then you add your modifier, which is a +3. So that's 19 of Eldritch damage. You basically see this like bolt of purple energy goes forward
Obliterated.
and hits the bugbear between the eyes, and its eyes just disappear, as does the rest of its skull, and it falls to the ground.
Also,
Sick.
Well done. And just as this happens... Oh, go on,
And
Zena.
I say, and as he's dying, I say, don't be hit by this arrow.
Everybody, as you hear... Yeah, go on,
Terrible.
Abe. What's that?
does he drop any weapons? Because they.
He had good armor.
Yeah. Can we grab the other weapons?
As you go and take the armor, you hear like a rattling wooden sound approaching you quickly from behind, and everybody needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, I'm screwed then.
Sweet.
Oh,
Well, I accidentally did 2 and there was
I've done the wrong one. Hang on.
Acrobatics.
Oh,
Abe, you got to do dexterity save is top left.
It's
Oh wow,
dex-
Zenarai did not do so good.
Oh, I see.
All that means
Sorry.
is it uses your dexterity to work it out.
Okay,
Oh,
so
sorry. One then.
okay, cool.
You rolled twice in a way. You got 5 the first one.
Yeah, but that was a check, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I pressed it.
Monty, I think you did a check as well. Can you do a save? I mean,
Oh,
a check is still fine, but
yeah.
some people have proficiencies in saves, so their saves are actually better.
Oh yeah.
I don't want you to lose out. Okay, that was good. Yep, 14. And then, did anyone else not do one of those? Abe.
Yeah. So is the dexterity save throw that I have to do?
Yes.
Yep. That one.
Sorry, guys.
It's all right. It's still... Oh. Okay, so we got a 12, a 14, and then a 1, and then a 15. Okay, so everybody except for Zenarai manages to jump out of the way of this wagon that you saw being loaded with humans, and it speeds past all of you, and it clips Zenarai on the side of his face, and he takes 6 damage from this wagon, like, bustling into him. And you see on the back of this wagon is pretty much, I think, based on your count, the last villager that was in one of the pits that you had reconnaissanced earlier. And it seems to be rapidly leaving the compound, and you realize, oh no, that was the last person we needed to rescue. And there seems to be 2 goblins on the back of the horse-drawn wagon, like whipping it as it races out of this gate here. And that is where we will end the session. Dun dun dun.